rock this. And now it's time for She's So Fritzy.
She lives in Vegas where it's really glitzy. Wants to live that life that's fun and ritzy, but you can't say her heart is itsy bitsy. She's so Fritzy.
We now join Fritzy in her bedroom with her loving brother Max.
Oh, hi, big brother.
Happiest of afternoons, my beloved sister. What have you got planned for today?
Well, Max, I just got my royalty check today, and so I wanted to get a few nice things.
What a splendid coincidence. I just received my paycheck as well. Do you mind if I tag along?
Oh, that would be great. We almost never get to spend time together anymore.
All too true, my adored sibling. And I have heard of a place just outside of town that has goods made exclusively for cats.
Well, what are we waiting for, Max? Let's go.
A short while later...
Wow, big brother, this place is huge, and you're right, it has the word cat in big black letters on that big yellow sign. I still can't believe there's a store just for us.
Truly a sight to behold. Let's go inside.
Wow, look at all these big trucks and tractors and machines and engines. How fun.
That's odd. I was expecting to see more mouse toys, catnip, and boxes of Meow Mix. Oh well, maybe they're in a back room or something.
Hi, welcome to the cat store. How can I help?
Oh, hi, Mr. Nice Salesman. I would like a Squeaky Mouse toy, 2 bags of chicken and cheese-flavored Black Diamond cat treats, a feather on a stick, a rattling peanut, 3 cans of cat joy beef pate, 2 Rady Cat flea collars, a cat brush, claw clippers, and 2 bags of clumping cat litter. Oh, do you have the lavender scented? That's my favorite.
Wait, what are you talking about?
And I would like to have a look at your scratching posts, my good man.
Sorry guys, I think you've made a mistake.
Oh, what mistake did we make, Mr. Nice Man?
Well, we don't sell cat products, we sell cat products.
Good sir. I have been accused of being unclear in my communication on a number of occasions. But what you just said trumps it all.
Look, in this case, cat stands for caterpillar.
My good man, I have been completely blindsided by this vile deception. I would not have wasted our time or yours by coming here if I had known that. Why in heaven's name couldn't you simply put the word caterpillar on your sign instead? Don't you think it would help your sales to advertise to the proper species?
We don't sell to caterpillars, we just sell caterpillars.
That's okay, Max. I love capilators. They eventually turn into flutterbys. I especially like the brown and orange ones. Do you have any capilators that turn into brown and orange flutterbys, Mr. Nice Capilator Salesman?
I need to get that. Hang tight and I'll be back to clear everything up, all right?
Ooh, look at that sign. It says compactors. I know. Let's get one for Mommy and Daddy so they don't have to take the trash out as much.
A splendid idea, my thoughtful sister. Let's have a look.
Wow, they're all so big. Which one shall we get?
Well, dear sibling, I am taking a fancy to this one with the large wheel in front. It would turn Mumsy and Father's trash into convenient flat circles for easy disposal.
That's a great idea. We should probably turn it on and see if it works.
A capital idea, Fritzy. Let me jump up here. Now, I don't know much about compactors, but I'll wager that if I turn this key and push this big red button, that will start it up.
Wow, Max, you're so smart. Let's see it squash some trash.
Already on it, my dear sister. Let's try moving this lever.
Wait, stop! You're heading straight for the window.
This works amazingly well. I just wish I knew how to stop it. Oh well, I will see you at home, my dear Fritzy. 20 minutes later...
Whew, that felt great. That's my favorite trail. Gosh, I love the woods. It's so nice that you had the day off for once.
Man, I know, isn't it? That hike has me pooped, though. I can't wait to get home and take a nap.
Hey, I'm with you. Hey, I'll bet Chuck's on.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's see what he has to say. But the owner reassures the public that despite the name change from the Redskins to the Commanders, the team will still hold on to its proud tradition of sucking. This just in. Eastbound Highway 190 is jammed up for 3 miles as commuters are being forced to follow a giant tandem vibratory roller being driven by an orange cat. I swear, I am not making this up. So, dinner out and drinks then?
Yeah, heavy on the drinks.
Be sure to tune in next time for She's So Fritzy.
My fellow Americans, sales of honey-sweetened Bolaños is off the charts. And now, it's time to address Biden's endorsement of my MAGA line. Now, people tell me, they tell me, all the time, how old Sleepy Joe is going on and on about Ultra MAGA, as if it's a bad thing. A bad thing? Isn't that just silly? What old Joe doesn't know is that he's actually endorsing my latest line of Ultra MAGA products. Now, if you brought my steaks, you know they go great with ketchup. But if you want to take them up a notch, try my Hillary's hot sauce. It comes in small bottles so you can carry it in your purse or pocket, and just like Hillary, it's extra salty. So good, so good. And fresh squeezed from beautiful Mar-a-Lago oranges, Trump brand orange juice is as rich and as orange and sweet as I am. You can get it pulp-free or grown with extra pulp mulch made from composted declassified papers. From our fabulous Florida orchards to your breakfast table, people are saying, and I believe them, people are saying that this delicious juice goes great with Trump brand cereals. Let's face it, no one juices like Trump. Now, since Sleepy Joe's son has gotten into painting, it only makes sense that I help the old crook out with the best art supplies money can buy. Trump brand finger paints are the perfect thing for your deadbeat, druggy son to get started in the art world. They're non-toxic, so they do not include the color red, because the Bidens have done enough with the reds. The Ultra Super Mega palette includes such fabulous colors as laptop lavender, powdery substance white, navy Joan blue, and of course, my favorite, sun-kissed orange. Don't take my word for it. These things are the best. Everyone says so, they tell me. President Trump, when are you going to come out with new things? They like every product in the Ultra Mega line. And it sounds like old Sleepy Creepy Joe does too. So what's not to like? God bless you. God bless the United States of America.
Welcome to Counterculture Wise, a Stormcap production. The views expressed on this podcast are those of the hosts, our guests, and the dog, and do not necessarily reflect the views of any of our platforms, our advertisers, or any other dog.
As you listen today, please remember, we are so much more than a podcast. All of our stories we discuss are linked in our show notes on counterculturewise.com. Visit there for commentary, guest photos and links, animations, and fun merchandise.
If you have a story idea or would like to be a guest on our show, contact us via our website. You can also follow us on Twitter, Gab, Instagram, Facebook, and all over social media, where we'll post memes, cat pics and commentary that gets us booted off on a regular basis.
If you're listening live, be sure to join our chat on Spreaker. If you're listening dead, please stop voting Democrat, but enjoy the show anyway. Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening.
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Amen. Hallelujah. Here we are in beautiful, fantastic, rainy Texas. Praise God.
We
I
have
hope it
needed
rains all
this
night.
for. It has literally been over 100 and bone dry for 4
Months.
weeks.
Months.
At least 4 weeks.
At least 2 months. Yeah. Oh my goodness. When it started raining, I was like, thank you, Jesus, which is
I
so
walked
weird.
out. I was at the theater finishing the run of Machinal, which we'll discuss in a few minutes. But I had to go back in and come back out because I thought I'd fallen asleep or was dreaming or something. You know.
Yeah, well, thank God. We've been praying for rain. We've been doing the dances. We've been going out there and shaking our money makers. And finally, we got some rain here in Central Texas. So thank you, Jesus. I hope it keeps up. Hopefully it's not just a little one-off thing. Of course,
Well,
all the pets have, crawled
I
right up
strongly
into
suspect I will be mowing the lawn.
It is nice and
Next
green
week.
right over the septic tank. So
It's always greener over the septic tank.
yes. Irma.
Yep,
Irma
Irma.
Bombeck. I never said her name. I always said Irma Bombeck. Gosh,
Yeah, she was
funny.
brilliant.
She was brilliant. Anyways, folks, welcome to another fabulous Sunday. Nice to see you in the chat, Dave. I hope you are doing fantastic and everybody is well in your household. Dave is one of our favorite people, and we're going to have him on the show again very soon.
Very, very soon.
I am your hostess with the mostest, Ms. Melanie Hope, and here with me are all my pets that have completely crawled up my cooch because of the thunder and lightning, so hopefully they'll behave. Because usually we lock them up so they.
I think they're nice and docile now.
Yeah,
I think they've been cowed
I
into
keep telling them I'm going to throw you
submission.
out there in the storm if you're not nice. So we'll see how they behave. And of course, my husband, my co-host, my best friend, and my sweet babu, Mr. James Moniz.
Hey. Okay, no dad joke this week, but I have a riddle. I have a riddle.
joke last week.
It's okay. I have a riddle that'll make up for it.
You have a riddle.
A riddle,
I like
yes.
riddles.
Okay.
Riddles are fun.
Okay.
Riddles are like algebra, or algebra is like
Yes.
riddles, and I like both
Okay,
because I'm weird.
cool. Pete and Repeat
I
are
know
in a
this
boat.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay? Pete and Repeat are in a boat. Pete falls into the water. Who's left in the boat?
Say that again.
I don't like you at all.
This is one of my grandma's favorite jokes because she would just keep going. And
I had
going
never
and going.
heard it before.
You've never heard it
And I
before?
went, oh, Melanie's going to really like this. And I go, Pete and Repeat. Oh, I've heard the joke.
Oh,
Dag,
no. I've got
fetch
to
it.
start pulling out all my old jokes because I didn't know that you didn't know all these really bad old jokes like the
Yeah.
Hertz donut. And that was a once-in-a-lifetime joke.
Yes,
Everybody
thank
knows
God.
that
Once
joke.
in a lifetime.
And finding somebody who doesn't know the Hertz donut joke is like finding a piece of a giant piece of gold, and you only get to tell it once.
I didn't even get to tell him once. Anyway.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I
it's
should have played along.
No,
should've
it's
played
okay.
along.
It's okay.
Yeah, that was one of my grandma's favorite jokes.
It was one of mine too now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'll just have to wait and share it with 4-year-olds who haven't heard it before.
That with impatient
something
cow,
like that.
yes.
Yes. So we.
Well, I mean, for our listeners who might not have heard the jokes, you want to give it away to them? You want me to play nice?
Okay. Pete and Repeat were sitting in a boat. Pete fell out. Who was left in the boat?
Well, Pete fell out, so repeat.
Pete and Repeat were in a boat. Okay, we got. Okay,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
the joke. Okay. For those of you who didn't really get it the first time, I'm
You
gonna
have
say.
to find either older or newer jokes because I had a grandma that loved jokes. So
Okay. So, Silent House Theater Company ran Machinal this week, and it's a.
okay, so explain to me what the word means because I still don't understand why that's the name of the play.
Because everything is like a machine, and I think that was either German or it was some. I don't know. I wasn't ready for that question, frankly.
Oh.
But yeah, it's a term that just means like a machine, and that's how. That was the general tone of the show, and that's in large part to our director Colin Selman, who I will hopefully have on the show sometime. He is also a very good singer and songwriter who has several songs on Spotify, one of which has had 4 million listens, or 4 million likes or something. I don't know what these kids do these days.
Those crazy kids on that X thing and all that.
Yeah. So there were 6 performances over since Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
And
2
I got
on
to
Saturday,
see it
and 1.
yesterday, and it was really good. Really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It was well cast. I've already talked about the audition from Hell, and I still got cast, and so that was cool. Melanie's told her story multiple times about the audition from Hell, but I had one even better because I walked in and forgot word 1 of the stupid audition of my audition piece. My monologue was just. I'll have to bring it on a sheet of paper with me to read it next time, I guess. I don't know. It was had me fearing that I was completely losing my marbles, that all these medications I'm taking are finally taking their toll on my happy little brain. So anyway, big news for anybody who hasn't heard, but the great nation of India has landed a spacecraft near the south pole of the moon, and this is significant. Do you want to read about it?
Do I want to read about it?
Of course you want to read about
I
it.
want to read about it. India. I didn't even know India had a space program.
I didn't either.
I don't know. I've seen the footage of this.
Melanie, this isn't Capricorn 1.
All right. Well,
Whenever there's a moon landing, any space exploration, she automatically goes into...
Did you watch the video?
No.
Okay, go watch the video, and while I'm reading this, tell me if that happened. Okay, well, apparently it's a simulation. India has made history as its moon mission becomes the first to land on the lunar South Pole region. With this, India joins an elite club of countries to achieve a soft landing on the moon after the U.S., the former Soviet Union, and China. The Vikram lander from, not even going to try to pronounce that,
Chandrayaan 3.
Gesundheit, successfully touched down as planned at 18:04 local time. Celebrations have broken out across the country with Prime Minister Narendra Modi saying India is now on the moon. We have reached where no other country could. It's a joyous occasion, he added. Mr. Modi was watching the event live from South Africa, where he is attending the BRICS summit. Indian Space Research Organization, otherwise known as ISRO, Chief Speedhara Panikar Somananath said the successful landing is not our work alone. This is the work of a generation of ISRO scientists. India's achievement comes just days after Russia's Luna 25 spacecraft spun out of control and crashed into the moon. I wonder if that's what took down Prigozhin's plane. Whoopsie doodle. The crash also put the spotlight on how difficult it is to land on the South Pole region, where the surface is very uneven and full of craters and boulders.
Well, there's also something to
to
keep in mind because of the atmosphere. They can't use parachutes or anything like that. Yeah, lack of atmosphere. They can't use parachutes, so they have to be very careful about how they land.
We managed.
So, well, yeah, we managed.
India's second lunar mission, which also attempted to soft land there in 2019, was unsuccessful. Its lander and rover were destroyed, though its orbiter survived. So I'm assuming this was not a manned mission.
I don't think it was.
And I'm pretty sure there were no cows on there either.
Nope. No cows over the moon.
I really need to have the stupid thing ready to go. So slow on the take. I just never have the dang buttons ready to go. We need a producer. All right.
Or at least a
we're
button
just
pusher. Max would do it, but he's...
We're a no-horse operation here. Yes. On Wednesday, tense moments preceded the touchdown as the lander, called Vikram after ISRO founder Vikram Sabrahai, I don't know if they roll their R's or not, but that's what I'm doing, began its precarious descent carrying within its belly the 26-kilogram rover named Pragyan, the Sanskrit word for wisdom. And it's pink and green. Okay, so they showed a live simulation. Those are two opposite words.
I know. That's why as soon as you said it was a simulation, my brain shut off because I was looking for the conspiracy when there isn't one. And
but they don't. There's no such thing as a live simulation.
Oh, I know.
That's not a thing.
It's not a thing. It's like watching an extremely advanced cartoon.
I'm not going to say it's a firefly, but I'm just not buying it.
She's really
I'm just really not buying it.
You spent too much time with Proof Negative. Anyway,
no, we did land on the moon. We did. I mean, seriously, India, they have issues, and going to the moon is not one of them. So, I say nothing.
No, well, anyway, congratulations.
Sure.
Congratulations.
You guys, totally, like, congratulations and stuff.
Yeah. Since we've turned this into starting the show with dead people thing, let's talk about an absolute showbiz legend.
We're not talking about dead people. We're celebrating the lives of amazing people.
Okay, well, we're celebrating
who just
the
happen
life
to be dead.
who happen to be dead. Celebrating the life of people who no longer have life. Well, at least on this terrestrial plane. We are talking about one Bob Barker, who I remember watching on Truth or Consequences when I was really, really young. And then he took over the revived edition of The Price is Right. The Price is Right had actually existed before in the 50s and 60s, but this took it to a whole new level, and he brought in energy, excitement, hot babes, and brought in Johnny Olsen as the announcer, and everything took off. And to this day, it's my very favorite game show. It actually fills me with joy to watch that show. Drew Carey is a wonderful successor to it.
He is a huge Bob Barker fan.
Well,
always
who isn't?
Was.
Well, I shouldn't say who isn't, because the man did have he did have a few enemies.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
How could a guy like that have enemies?
Well, I'll tell you.
I want to hear. Do tell.
By far,
go ahead.
In my
tell
mind
us.
and my heart, the cutest one of them all was the lovely Holly. Holly Hallstrom is her full name, and she sued Bob Barker because he was, I don't remember why, but it was something sexist.
What was her name, Holly?
Holly Hallstrom, Hallstrom. And she's still around. She doesn't have a career anymore because she
I
sued.
remember seeing her.
And she sued a producer. You don't sue a producer back in the 70s and 80s and expect to keep your career. So it's not like now where it's a lot more equitable. But back then, I think he was just acting in sexist ways towards. But I don't want to talk about that so much because he has done. First of all, he entertained us for generations.
She won $7 million.
Excellent. But he did a lot for animal welfare, quite a lot for animal welfare. Plus, he set the bar.
This had nothing to do with Bob Barker. Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, so this happened in 2010, so Bob Barker wasn't even there anymore, so this is Drew Carey.
He wasn't?
No, this says Cohen sued in 2010 when she was terminated from the game show after 8 years as a model to host Bob Barker and then Drew Carey.
Okay.
She wasn't the first model to bring gender discrimination claims against the producers, which they aren't. They were just the host. Others, they list a bunch.
Well, Bob Barker was one of the producers after so many years.
He? Okay.
Yeah, he became one of the producers.
Well, according to the lawsuit, she observed the defendants harassing others who had gotten pregnant on the show. And
Wait
as
a minute.
result,
Who are we
delayed-
talking about?
Holly. Oh, wait, this is Brandy Cochran.
Yeah,
okay, so Holly was
different
one of the
girl.
first. Okay, so apparently you're up there to be a model. Your job is to be pretty and look good in a dress. If you get knocked up and you got a big old belly, I mean, that's part of your job description.
Yeah.
If I were to go in and say, okay, I need to swing a
I know.
sledgehammer,
We're getting
and I lose
way
an
off.
arm and I get fired, I don't think I should get sued for. I be able to sue them for that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyways, that's a different discussion for another time.
Yeah. I just want to say thanks, Bob. It was a fun ride.
Spay and neuter your pets, but not
Spay
your
and neuter
children.
your pets, not your children. And
Maybe
have
I'll
a
make
nice
a T-shirt
day.
that has Bob Barker's face on it that just literally says "Spay and neuter your pets, not your children." I mean, I shouldn't have to say that, but it's kind of gotten to that point.
Yeah. Yeah. Anywho's. We're done with that guy. Let's move on.
He was an absolute legend.
He
He
wa-
was the
yeah.
longest. Actually, it still is the longest running daytime game show in North American television history, and it's still going. And I still
Yeah.
enjoy watching it.
I know I know at least one person who was on it who got called down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is that the one where everybody wears the really weird costumes?
No, that's Let's Make a Deal.
Oh, okay.
That one's not on anymore.
This is the one with the wheel, right?
Yes.
Or no? Yeah, that's with the big wheel.
Yeah,
that
where
you
they
try
bid
to-
up where they
And he was 99 years old. He would have been 100 on December 12th. He almost got that perfect $1. Leave it to Bob Barker to go out just under 100.
I mean that. Well, you always looked at him. He was a very healthy-looking guy.
Yeah.
You know, he took good care of himself. So,
Jack
thanks,
says
Bob.
we really should let Max be the producer because he does love pushing our buttons. I don't even want to know what would happen if he was in charge of anything. I haven't taught him how to use Spreaker yet. He just knows that if you hit the big red button, it records, and I don't know how he learned that. But then again, he learned how to use the bells at the door, so...
He's learned an awful lot, and he's used it against us more times.
Oh,
And
yes.
so, yeah,
Oh, yes.
our potential future president of the United States, Max
That's true.
von Riegelbeezer.
Debates upcoming, yes.
Yes.
Yes. He didn't want to go to the primary debates because if the other orange man wasn't going to go, why should he?
Exactly.
And that was his exact words, so we'll see how that goes. Although he does like Vivek, so
He does.
He said,
He does.
he said if Ali doesn't want the job of vice president, he'll consider Vivek. And Ali says
He could do a lot worse.
and Ali, well, he was looking at Kamala, and he's like, Ali could do that.
Ali is smarter.
Ali doesn't even laugh. Doesn't have the worst laugh.
Actually, yeah. You know, something about Democratic women and their horse
What
laughs.
is that?
I don't know. I saw an.
Ali is a dog of color. She's black, so
Yeah.
with a white spot. So I think that talk about your diversity hire. She'd be perfect.
Speaking of which, Elizabeth Warren, I didn't even finish reading the ad. She says, "Here's how I see it. We need to end corruption in Washington." And my only response to that was,
You
"You're a
first,
swamp
honey.
creature. What do
Yeah.
you're like the person doing the corruption.
Yeah.
What is
It's
this?"
called gaslighting. It's called gaslighting.
Oh, it's full of some kind of gas, hot air. Who knows?
Well,
Anyway,
folks, we have a nice full show for you today.
we do.
We do. We have news of the weird and wonderful. We've got some Florida man. Of course, Chuck's going to check in. We've got all kinds of fun stories to talk about. So let's head on in to my personal favorite subject.
Counterculture Wise is proud to present News of the Weird and Wonderful. Here are your hosts, Melanie Hope and Jim Monis.
All right. You made me fake a moon landing, so
Okay.
Well, I mean, Bob
So I
Barker
guess
was
every
kind of
moon
both of
landing
us.
for the future is fake as well. We'll just
No.
leave it at that.
Moon landings. And
If it ain't the good old U.S. of A., it's a gall dang fraud. Okay, so anyway, we like to poke fun at each other like this. It
Fireflies are fake news.
oh boy.
They
Hey,
don't exist.
Yeah, okay.
Fake news.
There was one right in front of your face.
No, there
We were
was
at
not.
our friend's house and there was a
first
firefly.
Of all, fireflies are not lone creatures. Okay, the entire point, at least according to all the texts that are making up the whole story, the whole point of them being fireflies with the lights is to attract mates. So you're telling me that the one and only firefly I've ever seen in my entire life was an incel with no other fireflies around? Not buying it. Fake
That
news.
firefly was looking. Just because he happened to go to the empty bar instead of the one down the street. I mean, what are you going to do? He was looking for love in all the wrong places.
All by himself. All by himself.
himself.
Middle of nowhere.
A bronze sculpture listed in the FBI's National Stolen Art File may have been found among the items in an Arizona man's estate. The shocking revelation has the man's relatives working to return the possible treasure. It's a beautiful piece, said Arlen Cook. He and his family inherited the 2-foot-tall sculpture of a cowboy when his brother-in-law died last year in Scottsdale. The piece was on the mantel of his brother-in-law's fireplace for more than 30 years, he said. The unsuspecting work of art is now in Cook's Gilbert home. He said the family started researching the sculpture because the piece looked valuable. They were curious to learn more about its background.
And nobody knew. Okay, I'm sorry. The princess.
In their online research, they found a video and story about missing art the ABC 15 investigators, which is, I guess, Phoenix's ABC station, had done in May. The sculpture of a missing cowboy looked very familiar. The ABC 15 story profiled several Arizona paintings and sculptures listed in the FBI's National Stolen Art File. Ding, ding, ding.
So dude just had it like hanging out in his house?
Yeah. Cook believes the sculpture he inherited is the one taken decades ago from the Manman Gallery 2 in Scottsdale, New Mexico artist Gordon Snidow made a series of sculptures in the early 1980s showing a cowboy dressed in chaps sitting and taking a break. He called the sculptures...
what was with the pause?
Because I was under the impression that it was him taking a dump, not just a break. A bathroom break.
Why would anybody own a cowboy statue of a cowboy in the... Okay, now I've got to go look at what
He
the statue
called the
looks
sculptures just a pinch after a tobacco company slogan, just a pinch between your cheek and gum. Get it?
Okay, I get it.
The FBI report doesn't say when the sculpture was stolen or its value. The stolen sculpture in the FBI file is listed
I would
as...
say it's worth a crap ton.
Man, I haven't seen what it looks like, so... it's meaning 20 out of 40. The piece Cook inherited has the artist's signature etched on the base, as well as the numbers 20/40. I was kind of shocked, Cook said. He called the ABC 15 investigators after realizing he may have artwork that was stolen. We wanted to get it back to wherever it was supposed to be, he said. But it turns out it's not that easy. Cook said he and his family tried to get through to the FBI, calling several times, but they were put on hold during one attempt for close to an hour.
Okay, for the record, there is no toilet in the statue.
Okay. All right, I guess
he does look like he's sitting on a bench and about to put... He's got a bag of chaw. Uh-huh. So he is not sitting on the toilet.
Sorry.
He is indeed putting a pinch between his cheek and...
Cheek and gum, not between his cheeks. Okay.
Yes.
And then sitting back and enjoying the flavor. Okay, got it. But Scottsdale told him to call Gilbert police to complete initial report because Cook lives in Gilbert. Instead, Cook said the family kept calling the FBI.
This is hilarious. Do you know who else lives in Gilbert?
Who?
A certain friend of ours that we had on the show. Certain friend that we meet up with every week. Who's become a very dear friend of ours. They live in Gilbert. I'm going to have to ask him about this.
Yes.
One of our authors that we had on our show. I don't want to dox anybody.
We also have a friend named George Gilbert who's been on the show.
That's true, too. But he doesn't live in Gilbert.
And it wasn't named after him
He's always
either.
in a state of Gilbert because he is Gilbert. But
Of course. which is not to be confused with Dilbert, who is a cartoon comic. Okay. Anyway, where am I?
Gilbert.
They also reached out to... That was helpful.
Anytime, babe.
They were finally able to reach someone and left their information. It could be weeks or months before the family learns whether the sculpture is the stolen one. The FBI tells the ABC station the information has been forwarded to the Bureau's art crime team. There's an art crime team. Who would have known?
Yep.
A group of agents who specialize in art and cultural property crime. The station also reached out by phone to Bob Whitman, former FBI senior investigator and founder of the FBI art crime team. He said, based on the information Cook provided, the sculpture's number matches the one in the National Stolen Art File, but this being a government agency, it's going to take a while for it all to get resolved. It's a long article. I don't want to read no more because I don't want to bore our
You don't want
audience.
to bore our audience.
You know, the important thing is the FBI isn't doing anything. That's what.
Well, surprise, surprise.
Okay.
Here I am worried about you not being heard, and everybody's saying my levels are low. So I jumped him up a little bit. Tell me if that's any better. Because it sounds loud on my end.
That's because it's you.
And I'm loud, yeah.
All right.
We did a mic check. We did a pre-recording.
Yeah, we
the
did a
mix sounded-
thorough one.
Thorough one after everything we've been through. All righty. This is in Michigan?
I know. I was expecting it to be, well, you know where.
You know where, yeah.
But, yeah.
Romulus, Michigan. Police in one Michigan town had anything but an ordinary day when a woman called them to report she discovered an alligator on her back porch. In a story straight off a Florida front page, the Romulus Police Department shared some details about the wild encounter. While the woman requested police not to share her name, address, or the date of her find, I don't want people to know I had an alligator. How embarrassing. I hate it when I break out with Gatorades. Anyway, police offered a glimpse into how the rare sighting went down. A Romulus woman calls the police station and is calmly speaking to the sergeant. Good for her, because I would have been... Police wrote in the Facebook post. Police said they heard laughter in the background before the woman said, "There is a crocodile or an alligator on my back patio." Despite the woman's claim, police said the sergeant taking the call was skeptical. "Can you send a picture of it?" he asked. Can you imagine calling somebody and saying, "My husband's having a heart attack. Could you
Are you
send me
sure
a
that
picture
it's
of that?" Yeah. The woman
like
complied promptly, the likely bewildered sergeant to explain, "We'll all be." While alligators don't live in the Michigan wild, you think, they are surprisingly spotted in the state every year. I would think it was too cold there. While most alligators live in aquariums in people's homes, sometimes larger alligators are spotted in ponds or creeks. In Romulus, it's illegal for a person to possess, keep, or maintain any wild or exotic animal or poisonous reptiles. This includes alligators, which, just for the record, are not poisonous. Poorly written, sorry. The state, however, has no such law. This includes alligator. People learn how to write. According to police, the Romulus alligator was... Now he's a Romulus alligator. The Romulus alligator was taken into custody by police and turned over to Animal Magic in Belleville. Animal Magic. And while stumbling across an alligator in Michigan certainly isn't an everyday occurrence, Romulus police said it wasn't the first time officers were called to collect a rogue gator. While we had some fun with this story, it goes without saying that alligators are no joke and can cause serious injury or death to persons or pets. Thank you for that information. And once again...
Captain Obvious!
And once again, alligators are not poisonous.
They're not. All right, this is a cool story. This is more wonderful than weird. A pilot came to the rescue of an American Girl doll accidentally left behind at a Tokyo airport by a 9-year-old Texas girl. Rudy and Celeste Dominguez discovered there after returning to the United States from their trip to Bali, Indonesia. I'd love to go there sometime.
Oh, me too.
That their daughter Valentina was missing her doll, Beatrice. The doll was last seen on a plane in Tokyo, where the family had a stopover on their flight. We checked our bags to see if maybe she was in there, but we all remembered seeing her on the plane, so once we did the search, didn't find her, we called the airline, and then we sent an email to the airline looking for her. Rudy Dominguez told Good Morning America. Valentina Dominguez said Beatrice is her favorite toy. She brings me happiness, and she's my best friend, she said. When she was missing, when we got settled into our hotel, I felt very bad. I felt like my heart was broken.
You didn't read that right.
I'm sorry. She brings me happiness, and she's my best friend, she said. When she was missing, when we got settled into our hotel, I felt very bad.
Why is this little girl Mike Tyson?
I was thinking more like Adam Sandler, but okay.
She brings me happiness, and she's my best friend.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do this.
When she was missing, we got settled into our hotel. I felt very bad. I felt like my heart was broken.
I'm Ollie, and I'm a puppy. She brings me happiness, and she's my best friend. Never mind. The parents posted about the lost doll on Facebook, and the post came to the attention of James Dannon, an American Airlines pilot, not to be confused with the yogurt guy, based out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Dannon reached out to Turkish Airlines lost and found at Haneda Airport in Tokyo.
I think it's Danon because there's only one N.
Oh, okay.
And when
James...
A can see his friend E one consonant away, he gets excited and says his name.
Thanks, Ms. Hope. Came to the attention of James Dannon. Dane with an N, just so we're sure, just so we're clear. An American Airlines pilot based out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Yo, DF Dub. Danon reached out to Turkish Airlines lost and found at Haneda Airport in Tokyo, which gave me a second chance to say it because I said it Haneda Airport the first time. And was able to locate Beatrice. He personally escorted the doll across the globe, snapping photos for Valentina at various airports along the way.
So do just like, I'm going to hop in my gigantic jet and fly a doll?
It would appear so. Danon delivered the doll to the girl in person this week. I felt over the moon, Valentina said. I knew Beatrice was going to be mad at me, but I was happy that I could see... I'm sorry.
I felt over the moon. I knew Beatrice was going to be mad at me, but I was happy that I could see her again.
Danon,
you know, if
dude,
the little witch is going to be mad at you for rescuing her, screw her. Get another doll.
Send her off to marry Chucky and call it good. Danon said he was happy to make the reunion possible. I was really glad I could do something nice for somebody, he told WFAA TV. Wafa. Okay.
All righty. Well.
Yes.
We've only got 15 minutes left for this segment, but I think we have plenty of time for nice things. Now, see, that's why we can't have nice things.
Oh, my. We got some doozies here.
This is so gross. I can't even begin. Okay. This actually happened. I swear I'm not making this up.
Oh, my God.
I've never heard the word singleton, but apparently that's a word we're using now for people who are single. Singleton was horrified to discover her unhinged Hinge date. So Hinge is like, what is the dating app that we have here where you swipe left and right? Tinder?
Yeah,
so
Tinder.
Hinge is like Tinder in Europe. So I guess a singleton is how they say single broad. Anyway, her unhinged Hinge date had scrawled a message under her toilet seat. And what did he do? What did he use to scrawl that message? Not just one, but 2 different shades of her lipstick. And the warning was for other men to run.
Is this but I thought it was a woman then.
No, this is a dude. Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see.
Dude picks girl up on dating app, goes to her house. She has a feeling about him that turns out was absolutely right. He uses her lipstick to write on the seat, under the seat of the toilet to warn other men. Her lipstick! He uses her lipstick. 2 different shades of her lipstick to write on the toilet. All right. So Luna Ray, interesting name, invited the potential suitor to her house so they could get to know each other a little before planning to head out with her friends later that night, but they never made it that far. Not long into their first conversation, the 23-year-old decided she wasn't a fan of the unnamed man after several of his less than charming comments about threesomes.
You talk
He'd
about
enjoy.
threesomes on a first date? What a dimwit.
Left her feeling uncomfortable.
You think?
In an attempt to spare his feelings, of course she's a TikTok influencer, of course she is, made up the excuse that she was not yet over an old boyfriend and suggested that they should go separate ways. So she was trying to be nice. But before the Lothario... Okay, you gotta look this word up for me. Lothario?
Lothario.
What does that mean?
It means a lover. A lover of many women.
Ah.
Yes.
So before Romeo left, he asked to use
pretty
her
much.
bathroom, where she later discovered he left his mobile number underneath the toilet seat along with an oafish scrawl that read, "She is effing her ex, run." Why would he leave his phone number? If he thought that the guy was going to raise the toilet seat and see that while he's peeing, why did he think that they would want his phone number? I'm thinking there's a little bit more going on. Mr. Threesome guy is,
Guy's a bit kook.
After her flatmate's boyfriend discovered the bizarre message days later, who takes days to clean their toilet? We have to clean ours every day. The Bachelorette realized her decision to cut the date short was right upon seeing the pathetic and unsanitary scribble.
I really hope she didn't. Yeah, I know.
We're both thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time to get some new Maybelline,
Thank
kid.
God she was single, or she'd be kissing people with those lips.
Bleh.
Forced to bin 2 of her favorite lipsticks, in other words, she had to toss them, that had been used to write the note, Luna is glad she broke it off and encourages other women out there to go with their gut. Oh, she's from the U.S., from Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I invited this guy to come out with me and a group of my friends to come to the bar. He came before my friends actually got there. I was kind of trying to do damage control. He started talking about how he was very worldly and had toured the world. Straight away, he said that in France there were these 2 girls that wanted to have a 3-way with him. He was just not very charming.
No, doesn't sound like it.
Yeah. I basically told him I wasn't feeling him. And as an excuse that I wasn't over my ex-boyfriend, it was an excuse that I made up to spare his feelings, I guess. He then left before my friends actually showed up. He asked, can I use your restroom before I leave, which was fine, of course. I didn't know he'd written anything until the next day my roommate called me and was like, oh, what the heck happened to our toilet? Her boyfriend had opened the seat and went to use the restroom and saw all this writing. He was trying to warn people. It said she is effing her ex, run, and he included his phone number so they could contact him for more information. Sure, that's why he left his phone number. Sure. Hey, at least the toilet's clean. After wasting 2 perfectly good lipsticks, the womanizer had placed them back in her bathroom counter where the influencer only nearly missed using them again. Initially, I thought it was kind of funny, but I no longer feel that way as he used my lipstick, which is so unsanitary. He actually used 2 different shades of lipstick and put them both back on the counter, hoping I'd use the dirty lipsticks again. It's kind of funny until you consider that. I threw them away straight after that. He'd obviously believed my story about the ex-boyfriend. It made me just think, wow, yeah, this person is pretty pathetic and insecure. I knew I was right. It's a bit unhinged. The video going viral has been a bit frustrating. There's been a lot of men taking his side and thinking it's funny, but not taking into account how messed up it really is. Yeah, for all the men taking his side, enjoy dying celibate. Since the messed up and awkward encounter, Luna has come off all online dating apps. Probably a good idea. She now advises other women out there to go with their gut, especially if they feel uncomfortable on a date. Luna said, if I had any advice to other women out there, I'd say always go with your gut feeling. You don't owe anybody your time. I'm not going to read the rest, but you kind of get the gist. You gross. Oh. Yeah.
That's pretty gross. That's very gross.
So, I was looking for video for the Holy Crap segment that is last week's is live on video. Go to the YouTubes or our counterculturewise. In fact, you know what? Now that I think about it,
Yeah.
drop everything.
Oh, my head. Oh.
And if you're listening live, make sure you hit like,
Ow.
share, subscribe, do all the things. If you're listening after the fact, still do all those things. Leave us a 2,000-star review. If you hate us, only leave us a 5-star review. We'll get the message. Head on over to counterculturewise.com where there's all kinds of more fun, exciting things. We have a YouTube channel, but YouTube hates our guts, so you probably can't find it. We also have a separate channel for Holy Crap, This Is Actually Happening.
And for Counterculture Cats.
For just that segment, and we do weekly videos there. And we've started reposting all of the old archived counterculture cats. Everything from She's So Fritzy, Interviews to the Max, even the old school ones with the stop motion. We're going to be uploading all of the poetry corners and anything that involves the kitty cats. And so that is Counterculture Cats. Also on the YouTubes, we have not actually gone live with that, but we've somehow managed to get a couple of subscribers, which is really bizarre. So I figure if we keep a low profile, they won't shut us down like they did on all of our channels.
As long as you don't figure out it's still us.
Yeah, it's still us, yeah. Anyways, if you head on over to the Screw Tubes, you can find it there, but we're also on BitChute and Rumble. And Locals, where you can join for, barely the price of a cup of coffee a month. Come on. Just for less than a cup of coffee a month, you can adopt these poor children, and you could possibly help them get a better studio. Only you can help them. Okay, that's enough of that.
Yeah, you did the Sally Struthers thing really well.
I tried.
Well. Yeah.
I did everything except eat everybody else's food. Oh, gosh, that was awfully mean.
That was mean.
That was mean. So, I do love her, though. She's a great actress. Anyway, head on over to counterculturewise.com. We are revamping the website. We have a new tagline. It used to be, we're onto you or you onto yourself, radio with heart and mind. And we've decided, no, we're going to talk about what we actually talk about. News of the weird, wonderful, and wicked. So if you're interested, we're going to have stickers and all kinds of fun things with that new tagline on it soon.
And our show is starting to take on that, more of that weird, wonderful, and wicked.
Wicked.
Yeah, we're kind of, that's more our focus than before. So it fits.
All right, somebody really, really wants me to play the joke sting again. So you ready for this one? I should save it for next week, but it's in the chat.
Yes.
Hey, what do you call a knight made entirely out of china?
I don't know. What do you call a ceramic knife made in China?
Not knife, knight, like a knigget.
Oh,
Like
a knight made in China.
Yes,
Okay.
Knights of the round plate.
I have no idea.
Sir Rabbit. This, folks, is why we're not on video. Thank you, Dave, for that one. Anyways, the whole reason.
So, hey,
Pete
and Repeat are in a book.
Pete and Repeat. Well, speaking of Pete, this next story I stumbled upon. It's a current story. It just happened this week. I stumbled upon it because while I was doing the Holy Crap, This Is Actually Happening video about Pedo Pete and trying to find backup, because as you know, we only report here at Counterculture-wise what we can actually find backup for, and we share all of our sources at counterculturewise.com. Typed in Pedo Pete, was trying to find the relationship to that and our dear leader's pseudonyms that he's used in order to extort and launder money throughout the country and the world, and hit upon this story, which is very sad. And this happened
This
in
story
our
is
old
not brought to you in living color.
This happened in our old neighborhood. I have seen Pete.
You know,
I knew Pete on a personal basis.
I believe I remember seeing him too. A beloved Las Vegas neighborhood peacock named Pete was killed with a hunter's bow and arrow Seriously, guys. And authorities are trying to find out who is behind it. Animal Protection Service officers are investigating the death of the peacock, which belonged to a resident in a small gated neighborhood, but had come to be accepted as a neighborhood pet throughout the years.
This is in Las Vegas, folks.
Yes. Felicity Carter, a neighbor, said she found the bird Monday against a fence with an arrow sticking out of him. She wrapped Pete in a blanket and with the help of the other neighbors took him to a veterinarian who specializes in exotic pets. She said the staff rushed to treat him, even looking into getting a blood transfusion from another peacock.
That's a thing?
I guess it is.
Does
But
the peacock get to volunteer?
Well, I don't know. But they found Pete had actually been shot twice. I just don't understand why someone would do this, Carter said. We all just want to find out who did this. We want justice for Pete.
What?
Several neighbors say they are heartbroken. They loved to feed Pete berries and found comfort in knowing he was always just around the corner, lounging in someone's yard or chasing the garbage truck on Tuesday mornings. Even the homeowners association accepted Pete as a neighborhood fixture. Now, when an HOA is doing that, you know he's special.
Well, I mean, it's a peacock. It's not like it was, some warthog or something. It's a beautiful, amazing. I mean, granted, they're very noisy. But it's a beautiful, amazing bird that would only just raise the house values, you'd think. Did you know peacocks could fly?
I've never seen them.
Yeah, I have.
Because I've seen them in person. I used to live in a neighborhood in Oregon which was swarming with them, actually.
Yeah, we had them all over in Washington, and when their wings are not clipped in the wild, they can fly. Now they can't fly very far.
No,
but they can fly. They cannot, however, swim because their tails are too heavy.
Yes, I would imagine.
Stupid things I know because that's what I do.
Carter said Pete will be remembered for his very distinct personality. Pete was often seen admiring his reflection of the chrome detailing of cars parked in the neighborhood. I'm too sexy for this car.
Chat's wondering if perhaps they hated NBC. I know Jim does.
No. Well, anyway, I like their logo.
Not
the modern one. Let's we've already talked about that once. Already given you more than you need to know.
First time I meet his mother, she's like, "Did you know he was afraid of the peacock?" I'm like, "What?"
Obviously, my mother connected with you because she wouldn't have told all these embarrassing stories about my.
He went to the bathroom for 5 minutes and came back going, "Oh no, what did Mom tell you?" I can't believe they did this to him.
Yeah, it was a Mexican restaurant in Pacific, Washington. I remember distinctly. Anyway, Carter said Pete was often seen admiring his reflection in chrome detailing of cars parked in the neighborhood. The mail courier and landscapers knew Pete too and would drive carefully through the neighborhood in case he was on the street. He literally would walk down the middle of the street with his swagger on display like he owned the joint, Carter said, laughing.
Probably felt he did.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, he just showed the peacock randomly showed up at one neighbor.
Who brought him in, or?
No, just Carter described as a happy accident. Pete came to be a resident in the neighborhood. Pete's owner, she said, claims that years ago the peacock randomly showed up at his doorstep and he decided to keep it.
So this peacock just randomly shows up and nobody claimed a peacock?
Hi, my name is Norbert Bertram Cooper. You can call me NBC.
Nice.
And I'm going to be your neighborhood.
Is that what NBC stands for?
No.
I totally would have believed you if you said.
If I owned a peacock, I would name him Norbert Bertram Cooper. Absolutely, you know I would.
Want a peacock. I want a giraffe and a peacock.
Oh. So everybody in the neighborhood started to take care of him. And now the neighborhood is too quiet, less colorful without him, Carter said. The neighborhood's homeowners association sent out an email asking residents to check their surveillance cameras for any video footage that could help catch the killer.
I hope they do.
In Vegas, animal cruelty is a misdemeanor offense with a penalty of up to 6 months in jail and a maximum $1,000 fine. Now, if they found the guy and put him in jail and happened to forget about him and he was in there longer than 6 months, I don't think very many people would cry over it.
He has his own Facebook page.
I didn't know that. Yeah, a little minor celebrity.
Yeah, he just walked around, hopped on people's porches. I've crossed the Rainbow Bridge where I joined the other router pets and will wait for Michael and Jeannie. Reach out to them as they are quite sad about my sudden passing, especially Michael. He was my BFF. Beloved Pete, your tail feathers made Michael's shadow so colorful as you followed him around. Sorry, Mike, so sorry. So weird. I don't understand why anybody would do that.
It's just cruelty.
This doesn't look like Vegas. It's awfully green.
Well, Vegas does take up a good amount of real estate.
This might be a different Pete. Oh, he's not the first wandering peacock. Apparently there's a give, send, go. Oh, this is not related to Pete. Okay, this is completely different.
Okay, so the next story is for you, Melanie, and this is the story of the week.
Story of the
Story
week.
of the week, maybe even of the month.
Of the month?
Yes.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to save this for after the break because it is now after 9. And I'm
Are
pretty
you
sure...
pulling the Ryan Seacrest jazz here?
Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen.
Man.
We'll be talking about erections fighters after the break.
Say what?
In this digital society, making connections is quickly becoming a lost art form. Yet, if you are a small business owner, building your network is the only way you can get ahead. Can these skills be learned? You bet they can. Read Nose to Nose Networking, no-nonsense in-person networking tips from a master. Who's the master? Well, who better to teach networking and friend-building skills than a golden retriever? The author, Melanie Hope, takes the antics of Abigail and translates them into the human experience. Through Abby, you will learn how to set your intention, build a network, and get into and out of conversations with grace. Find it on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, in hard copy or on Kindle or Nook. Visit counterculturewise.com for direct links. At Deanna's School of Diction, we have helped launch many careers, from actors you know and love to CEOs of major corporations. We've also assisted those who serve you in politics. Here are some of our most famous graduates.
And I came away from the job really understanding the necessary for the juncture. And anything we can do to help, I think we should.
Yeah, I've never been to Hawaii, and neither has my family. I guess I haven't crashed a bank, you know. So given that I'm the last person, I don't have much left to ask, but I will, let me ask you this one particular question to put to everyone here on that. And is it an inside joke?
For us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present, and to be able to contextualize it, to understand where we exist in the history and in the moment as it relates not only to the past but the future.
To finishing the NDA this week has been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
If you're looking to start your political career by boosting your communication skills, call
Joe 30330
today. Deanna School of Diction, the language of fame.
Yeah, I get it. Your parents were jerks and you're traumatized.
But that doesn't mean you should use your lousy childhood as an excuse to be a lousy adult. Stop being such a whiner and get past your past already. Buy Get Over It and Get Started, the book by Melanie Hope that will get you out of your self-imposed failure and on the road to greatness. Available in paperback, Kindle, and Nook.
Hi, it's me again, your favorite trader. And you know what that means? It's time to shop at your local Trader Joe's. This week, you can pick up a box of our Fetterman fettuccine for half off when you buy one at full price. Best served completely fried next to a collapsed bridge. We also have a special purchase on rubber gators, Winnebagos, rudaboters. Oh, you know, the big ugly turnip things. They're yummy, damn it. Thanks to a special deal I personally made with a supplier, you can get a bottle of Vladimir's Vigorous Vodka for just 10 lousy bucks. Lovingly distilled in Kiev by Ukrainian orphans and widows, it goes great with Coke. Pepsi. Yeah, Pepsi. Or RC, whatever. Definitely not Coke. There's no Coke at Trader Joe's. At least none anyone can trace anyway. And don't forget to sign up for our drawing for a free pint of Pelosi ice cream, featuring our newest flavor, Crony Spumoni. A $50, $70, $25 value. What are you waiting for? Come by Trader Joe's, or I'll take you out back by the woodshed. And don't forget to ask my son about our influencer specials.
Max, stop yelling to be let out. It's dark out, and there are all kinds of things out there that will get you. Name one, Father! Well, for starters, there's the bison. They'll trample anything that even comes close. Well, then I'll avoid the hooved monstrosities. The smell alone is enough to keep anyone away. They are delicious, though. There's also coyotes. We see them all the time in the fields. What would I care about coyotes? I have no interest in crossing the border. That's not the kind... Never mind. Our neighbor Mike says he's seen some mountain lions in the area, too. Well, I am from Las Vegas, so that makes me a valley lion. I'm sure we'd have plenty to talk about. No, Max, these are really big cats. Predators. These are cougars. Oh, Father, I am not afraid of cougars. Mumsy was a cougar before she married you. I may not be as long in the tooth as you are, but I am certainly no spring kitten anymore, and thus not cougar bait. That's not the kind... Never mind. Look, I'm putting my foot down. You are not going outside in the middle of the night in the middle of the heart of Texas. There's rattlesnakes and scorpions and skunks and armadillos and... what now? They're a kind of armored possum. Never mind. Just trust me. You don't want to mess with them. I don't know, Father. Those dillo things sound delicious. Plus, there's those shiny green bugs. Max, those are poisonous. Oh, Father, you worry too much. I am a grown cat. I can take care of myself.
Max, can you come help me with my pillow? It just doesn't feel cuddly enough.
Duty calls, Father. We will continue this discussion another time, but before I leave, I want to remind our dear listeners and viewers to visit our merch store. You can choose from a wide variety of apparel, accessories, and other goodies. Please keep us afloat. Please help keep Chuck around to report the crazy goings-on in Washington, wherever that is, and elsewhere. I swear, he is not making this up. By contributing today, you will also help keep Mumsy and Father on their anxiety meds. Hey! For these reasons and so many more, I beseech you to visit our merch store at counterculturewise.com.
What was that squeaky sound? That was weird. All right, folks, welcome back. Before we head into the story that I teased, the Give, Send, Go that our chat sent us was for where'd he go? Joe the Plumber, which I sadly was unaware. I'll be honest, when I was listening to the Obama debates, I thought Joe the Plumber was like Joey Bag of Donuts. I thought he was just like a made-up guy. But no, he actually was a real guy. His name was Wurzelbacher.
And
Joe
he wasn't really
Wurzelbacher?
a plumber.
And he wasn't a plumber?
No.
Okay, so tell the story, because I
don't know enough about the story.
This
was
is
years
before
ago.
I got involved in politics.
I'd forgotten all about Joe the
Okay.
Plumber until 10 minutes ago. I didn't even know he had passed.
Okay, well, let's see. Let me look this up then. Well, okay, you gave away you gave away the lead, but apparently, Samuel Joseph Wurzelbacher, commonly known as Joe the Plumber, is an American conservative activist and commentator. He gained national attention during the 2008 U.S. presidential campaign season when, during a videotaped campaign stop in Ohio, Wikipedia. Sorry, that's what the link said. He... By then Democrat nominee Barack Obama, Wurzelbacher raised concerns that Obama's tax policy would increase taxes on small business owners, which it did. Wurzelbacher is a member of the Republican Party. Not anymore, no. Since he expressed to then Senator Obama that he was interested in purchasing a small plumbing business, Wurzelbacher was given the moniker Joe the Plumber by the McCain-Palin campaign. The campaign brought him in to make several appearances in campaign events in Ohio, and McCain often referenced Joe the Plumber in campaign speeches. I vaguely remember this. This is
it was a long.
before I really got involved in politics.
It was a while ago.
All right, so the reason we're talking
I don't blame
about
anybody
him,
for forgetting it. I did.
He's a father of 3 absolutely darling, precious children. All of them obviously got their mom's eyes because they all wear the same glasses. Apparently, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and has shuffled off as of today. So there is a Give, Send, Go. We will share the link. Yeah, that's really sad. I mean, rest in peace, dude. I'm really sorry. You're way too young. Way too young. So he has had folks like Glenn Beck and several other people mention him. They've raised hopefully enough money to cover at least his medical bills, because I know how expensive that can be.
Very.
And prayers for the family. So sorry. Very sad. We will share that link on our website at countercultivars.com. And I'm going to put this up with our dead people. Before I forget. Alrighty, now for the story we've all been waiting for. This is going to take up the rest of the show.
The itsy bitsy. Never mind.
Not so itsy bitsy. Okay.
Yeah, not at all.
A supermarket in Austria was evacuated after a spider. I love this. I love this. Whose bite is capable of causing painful erections and even death.
What a way to go.
It's like death, painful erections. All right. A penny shop in Krems an der Donau, a town located 45 miles from Vienna, has remained closed since Tuesday after the 4-inch spider, so not so itsy bitsy.
Not so itsy bitsy at all.
Was said to have been seen when staff opened a box of bananas.
So definitely not native to the land.
Well, no, he causes painful erections and he hangs out with bananas. He can't write this stuff.
Oh, heavens.
Descriptions of the spider's coloring and size led people to believe they were dealing with a Brazilian wandering spider, also known as a banana spider, because he bites you and you get a banana. These highly venomous arachnids tend to hide in banana plants and are sometimes found in shipments of the fruit, earning them the nickname. I don't know. I think it's the other thing. Their bites can cause extraordinary pain, hypothermia, increased pulse, penile erection, and that can last for hours, and death. in some cases. So you know what a lot of guys are out there saying? We're going to get me one of them spiders. By the time the fire brigade... Why would you call it? Okay, yeah, burn it down. I get it. No, that's exactly who I would call a fireman. Because if there's something I want, it's a house full of firemen with permanent erections.
I knew the R rolling was coming. I knew it was coming. I would have laid money on it.
I think the spider's over that way. Okay, so by the time... seriously, though, why would you call the fire brigade? By the time the fire brigade arrived at the store, the spider was nowhere to be seen. You lost how do you lose a 4-inch spider? I ain't losing no 4-inch spider. Good Lord. In a statement, the Rue Retail Group, which operates the penny stores, said, comprehensive cleaning and disinfection measures were underway. I don't think infection is our concern. Before the outlet reopens. All measures are for safety and are carried out meticulously so that the branch can be reopened.
So I guess it's opening again.
He said as he punched a hole in the wall.
Boy.
In a 2007 interview, a researcher, Romulo Leite, told Live Science that the erection is a side effect that everybody who gets stung by the spider will experience along with the pain and discomfort. Question. First of all, spiders don't sting. And second of all, I'm pretty sure that I would not get an erection. Just call me crazy. Adding, we're hoping eventually this will end up in the development of real drugs for the treatment of erectile dysfunction. Told you they were going to go there.
If they used it for that, yeah, then the spider has a reason to exist.
It gets
Otherwise,
better. In 2019, scientists at the Federal University of Minas Gerais said the chemicals in its bite could lead to a treatment of more effective than Viagra. Cool. All right. Okay. Lick a toad. Play with the spider. After they included them in a gel, which led to prolonged erections in a study of mice and rats. They found the gel led to a swelling of the penis lasting 60 minutes when applied topically to the genitals. Okay,
spider gel.
Folks.
Apply it and you'll be hard as hell.
I think that might be CCW Labs next. So here's the thing. And people who know me know that I love science. I teach bio and chemistry, and I am also an anti-vivisectionalist. I do not believe in animal testing. But if I were a mouse or a rat and I was going to be employed as an animal tester, I would definitely want the one where they're rubbing my genitals. You just see the little rat coming home every night. Hey, Mary, how was the day, sir, honey? How did it go? No comment.
Oh, hey, Mick, holy crap! Anyway.
I want to be the scientist that literally has on my name tag, mouse fluffer. Jim would be so proud. He's like, oh, you got your doctorates and you're in a lab and you're doing work and are you curing cancer? Not really. Okay, well, that's cool. I mean, I'm really interested in what you do. Oh, you're not. Well, what do you do all day? I really want to know. I jerk off mice. Okay, but in my defense, down the hall is someone who has to milk the women mice.
Oh, dear.
Follow the science, they say. What kind of microscope do you need to find a mouse penis? I have so many questions.
What size tweezers do you use?
Questions.
What size tweezers would you use for that anyway?
Can you imagine how much it would hurt to have your grabbed by tweezers? If not, can we try tonight? Because that'd be a fun experiment. I'm going to go see if I can find me one of them spiders.
Next on the story is...
Hi, I'm a mouse fluffer.
It's like the line in the show I was in tonight, which was not one of my lines. But are you a lover? Anyway. So. If you ever have a chance to see any production of Machinal, do it.
Really good.
That whole bit at the beginning with all the machines running and it turns into a song.
Yeah.
Colin did that. That's not part of the script.
Up.
Yeah,
that was straight out of the Music Man. That was,
right. Yeah.
So that's not a normal part of the play?
No, he added that. I mean, the part where they're all saying the stuff like hello, hello. I mean, yeah, that stuff's in it, but turning it into a song with all the rhythmic machine blasting, that was he did that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, like I said, it was straight out of Music.
It was also our curtain call music.
Yeah. It was fun because it was set in the 1920s and the costumes were fabulous. All the flapper outfits, fun. And I really want to have him on the show, so chop.
I'll talk to him.
Yeah, he's brilliant. Young punk, he's just fabulous. All right, your turn, my dear.
It is indeed my turn.
Isn't it wonderful?
Speaking of
Democrats
supermarkets,
help us out.
Speaking of pests and supermarkets, Biden is out there. This, by the way,
Speaking of venomous.
By the way, this is
pests and.
This is not the Bee. It is literally not the Bee.
Yeah. Which
so
is a legit news organization.
Legit news. Okay, just want to make sure about this. Biden is out there on the campaign trail. It is politically biased, however. Biden is out there on the campaign. Biden is out there on the campaign. He's on the campaign trail trying to make the case for Bidenomics, and in the meantime, his domestic policy is actively and significantly driving up food costs for you and me. A push by the Biden administration, this is from the New York Post, a push by the Biden administration to increase food stamp benefits to the tune of $1 trillion could be responsible for a 15% rise in prices at the grocery store, according to a government watchdog report. That means
basically we got a pay decrease.
Yeah.
Well, and not we, but people with
and
food stamps.
The people who need the break the most aren't getting it. The people who are rich aren't feeling the effects because they're not on food stamps.
Right.
You know, some of us who have been on food stamps from time to time, it just makes it harder for people to.
Why does he consider it a win that he had to increase the number of people who got food stamps? That seems to me like that is a massive defeat.
If you're a government control freak, then yeah, it's great because more power to the government.
Humiliated that I had to increase welfare and food stamps because I was such an ineffective leader.
This almost belonged in the new abnormal, pretty much. But
yeah, we got some things going on there too.
Yeah, the Foundation for Government Accountability, in its study, noticed that food stamp spending reached a record high $119 billion in 2022. Judging from the Biden administration's 2021 decision to rush through the largest permanent increase in food stamp benefits since the program was created. All in all, the food stamp program could cost the U.S. more than $1 trillion over the next decade. I want to stop for a minute and say that I'm not the best libertarian in the world because I do think that people can occasionally use a hand up rather than a hand out. But if you create a situation where prices are so horrific and wages are so low that you keep people enslaved, then it's nothing to celebrate. I mean, you might want to celebrate if you are, a Biden fan or whatever, but this is not.
That's the old adage that Democrats consider compassion as how many people can receive benefits, whereas Republicans consider compassion how many people don't need benefits.
Right.
And that's the difference.
Anyway, that figure is likely going to cost Americans big time at the grocery store, at least if past data are any example. World Bank research found that a 1% increase in per capita food stamp benefits increased grocery store prices by 0.08%. That doesn't seem like much, but put another way, food prices increased by 1% for every 12.5% increase in food stamp spending. So, in other words, the surge in food stamp spending is helping significantly to drive those budget-busting, wallet-breaking prices for eggs, milk, and other essentials. I mean, most people aren't looking for, filet mignon 5 days a week.
Well, and that's the other sad thing is, if you weigh 400 pounds, I shouldn't have to pay for your fudge rounds, to quote a really good song.
Yeah.
You can use them to buy, soda and gum and just garbage. And we're not helping these people. We're not helping them.
No.
Not only should they... I just think instead of giving people food stamps, or, you don't get stamps anymore. It's a debit card, basically.
Yeah.
If we want to help them, why don't we actually give them food kits? Mm-hmm. Send like those instant meal, not instant, but those
the MREs I had.
No, not even that. Those kits that we used to get, like HelloFresh.
Oh yeah, like
where it sends good, healthy food, and then along with that, things that will get them back on their feet. I mean, the whole purpose of welfare is supposed to be a hand up, not a hand out.
Yeah, I said that.
And there are
already,
people who spend their entire lives, on public assistance.
Right.
Well, that's not a life. That's slavery.
Right.
So
and that's where it. I mean, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist. I am, but I don't want to sound like one. And it's like.
But we need new conspiracies because all mine came true.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is going to be a T-shirt in our shop.
It's we're more like prophets than conspiracy theorists.
All I know is
anymore.
we went from the Alex Jones is right jar to using one of those 5-gallon water bottles because it's overflowing.
Crazy.
Also going to be another thing in our merch shop.
All right. Anyways, seems like Democrats could do a lot to solve the problem by, I don't know, rolling back government welfare.
I stand corrected in chat. Nick says he agrees with Jim's idea of MREs because they'll want to do better.
Yeah, that is the one food that will make
that.
That is the one thing that will make you strive to earn better money, so you don't have to eat that crap ever and ever and ever again. It served its purpose to help us jarheads lose weight because we didn't eat them.
Nobody
wants
to eat them.
No, I ate them. When you're out in the field, that's what you need to have. You can't really.
Do you know what the only glass thing in any MRE is?
What's that?
Tabasco.
Yeah, that can't be contained in anything else.
Yeah, so that is the only, in those itty-bitty tiny little Tabasco
which we have some.
That's the only thing that's glass in an MRE or Tabasco.
Well, we never got that fancy schmancy Tabasco.
Oh, you never
crap.
got the fancy schmancy Tabasco ones?
No. Everything was freeze-dried. But anyway,
that other Marine saying,
that was back when Reagan
everyone.
was president, and 8-track tapes were still a thing, and so whatever. But
meals rejected by everyone.
Yeah, that's true.
Our chat,
that's true. So anyway, I'm done yammering about that. It's just it's simple economics. I mean, you don't have to be, Ludwig von Mises or whoever to understand this stuff. Your turn.
I think we're out.
We're what? Hey, cool. Well, we're at 9:30 anyway.
We're at 9:30 anyways.
So let's.
Well, do you want to head into let's do some Florida Man.
Yeah, let's do that for fun.
Ever had a day you felt so stupid, lacking a brain? Well, here's a guy who'll make you feel like a genius and maybe even sane.
All the world loves to laugh at losers as often as they can. Here comes another chance to chuckle. Here comes the Florida Man. Yay.
I have a feeling that this is probably going to be old Joe's next excuse for his kid. A Florida chemistry student was caught on a neighbor's hidden camera, allegedly injecting an opioid chemical agent underneath their front door, causing the family and their newborn baby to fall ill, according to police. Umar Abdullah and his pregnant wife moved to their new condo in Tampa in June 2022 and were warmly welcomed by other residents in the building. Shortly after, however, Abdullah began receiving texts from his disgruntled downstairs neighbor, Zuming Lee, a seemingly regular guy who complained about losing sleep and hearing the toilet seat move. Maybe they were writing notes and lipstick to each other.
Hey, that is called in showbiz a callback.
After months of quarreling, okay, wait, hold on, wait, back up. I have questions. So he's upset about hearing the toilet seat move. They have a newborn baby. He's not upset about the baby crying all night long? I think this guy has issues. After months of quarreling, Abdullah said he, his wife, and their daughter started feeling dizzy and vomiting. I look at my daughter, Abdullah told the outlet. Her eyes were full of tears. She was not crying, but her eyes were full of tears. A friend noticed the chemical smell while retrieving a package for Abdullah while he and his family were away on vacation. When he returned, he said he noticed an odor he described as more obnoxious than nail polish remover. He called the air conditioning company, who found no problems. He then called a plumber, who also found nothing wrong with the water heater, where the smell appeared to be emanating from. His landlord replaced the Really? His landlord replaced the heater?
We're not familiar with that. We're not familiar with that concept.
And fire and explosions and floods to get a water heater. And they're like, oh, does it smell funny? Here, I'll give you a new one. I want this landlord. And he even had his air ducts and vents cleaned. Wait, they clean air ducts? Where is this guy? I want to live in this joint.
Not in Texas. That's for bloody sure.
Well, they ain't in Vegas or Washington either. But the chemical smell persisted. It's like, we have no air conditioning. It's 107. I know. It really sucks. Clink. Abdullah even called the fire department, but again, their test revealed nothing. I never thought after all this that no, Abdullah said, I'm just imagining this. No. But then, confident that there was an issue, he said he started sniffing that place like a dog. When he searched his doorway, he found a small crack in the corner. Suspecting his neighbor Yi may have something to do with his family's illness. Now, why would he immediately jump to that?
Maybe because of the tone of the texts or whatever the argument's going on.
Anyways, he suspected this guy, so he set up a hidden camera outside. When Abdullah's daughter became sick again, he checked the footage that showed Yi crouching down outside of his door, but it was not clear what the neighbor was doing. And there are photos, so if you head on over to Camera Culture again, you can see all of our sources, which we archive in case they try to, engage in shenanigans. We were shaking, Abdullah recalled to WFLA. We can't imagine that he is coming and doing something. Well, apparently you can. He adjusted the hidden camera angle, and when his daughter was ill again, he checked the footage. This time, the video showed Yi appearing to take a syringe out, fill it with liquid, and then inject the liquid into the crack in Abdullah's door frame. Abdullah immediately got his family out of the home and called police. Lee was arrested by Tampa police and slapped with a number of felony charges, including possession of a controlled dangerous substance and the word I can't pronounce, burglary. So what did he steal? Oh, I guess he must have stolen the stuff he was using. A hazmat test revealed the liquid chemical agent contained a combination of methadone and hydrocodone.
Jeez.
Holy moly.
Wow.
He was trying to kill these people.
Like
Lee's-
literally trying to kill them.
Like literally. Lee is listed as a PhD chemistry student at the University of Southern Florida. Not anymore, he's not. But the school told the outlet he had not been enrolled since the summer of 2023 semester ended. He was released on bond and is scheduled to appear in court on December 5th. That's a ways away. He is separately facing a lawsuit from Abdullah for domestic violence. Fair enough. And from the Condo Association for breach of conduct. How dare you have a potted plant outside your door? I mean, the other thing. Abdullah's daughter just celebrated her first birthday, but he says he is looking to move his family elsewhere. I don't blame him.
An arm up. Anyway.
Chat says, is just an attempt to break in without theft? Really? I thought you had to actually steal something. Okay,
no,
so
you don't steal something to burglarize. No, to be a burglar, to be a hamburglar, you only have to break into the McDonald's.
Oh, you don't have to actually burgle a hamburger. Okay.
Right. Bingo. All right.
Maybe you're a 10, but only on the pH scale. Ouch. Oh, wait. I have to do the thing. Wow.
All right.
All right.
A Florida handyman who bears more than a passing resemblance to Scott Adams raised thousands on GoFundMe to cover funeral expenses after his husband was murdered in March, is now a suspect in the unsolved slaying, authorities say.
Ooh.
Timothy Smith, 59, did not show up for work on March 24th. Deputies found him dead in his home the following morning during a wellness check and discovered evidence that he suffered a violent attack prior to his death. From the start, Marion County Sheriff Billy Woods said investigators believed the killer was someone who knew Smith well. Then there's a photo of two bald guys. I can't tell which is which. No, the guy on the left is the living one, the alleged murderer, and the one on the right is his victim. But the guy on the left looks an awful lot like Scott Adams. Herbert Swilly, Swilly?
That's his name.
That's a name. That's something that oh, never mind. It would have shown up in one of those parody stories of the 20s or something. So anyway. All right. Herbert Swilly, the victim's spouse, is considered a suspect in Timothy's murder, the sheriff's office said in a statement Tuesday. Detectives spoke of Mr. Swilly at the earliest stages. He's just mad because they gave him that stupid name. At the earliest stages of the investigation, and they have been trying to speak with him again, but his attorney has indicated he will only cooperate if he is provided with immunity from prosecution for Timothy's murder. Well, okay. He has the right to do that. He's got the right to do that. Swilly's daughter, Jordan Swilly, is also considered a person of interest, authorities added. Because Herbert and Jordan won't speak with the detectives investigating Timothy's murder about evidence that has been uncovered during the investigation, we are hoping that there are people in this community who may know things that could help us solve the case, the sheriff's office said. This could include information regarding Timothy's activities in the days and weeks leading up to his death, or information about Timothy and Herbert's relationship. Anyone with any information, even if it seems unimportant, is asked to call the Marion County Crime Stoppers at 352-368-STOP. A reward of $14,500 is being offered for information that cracks the case. Herbert Swilly has written publicly about Smith's death several times on Facebook, first announcing, "My dearest friend and partner, Tim Smith, passed away unexpectedly," and writing earlier this month is that it's hard not having you to talk to, but I still talk to you. And he says, "I'm so glad you're dead." You never. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
No, I didn't say
hey,
that.
I didn't say that at all.
What?
Yeah. He also posted just hours before the sheriff's office singled him out as a suspect Tuesday on what would have been the couple's 8th anniversary. "You will always be in my heart and thoughts," Swilly wrote. "Jordan and I will celebrate our anniversary tonight, out having dinner." In April, Swilly solicited more than $2,200 in donations through GoFundMe to cover the expenses of a celebration of life. Very much not news of the wonderfuler.
No.
Not much at all
Why do
like
I
that.
get these ones?
It's
First
just
I get the spider.
I can read it if you want. I don't
I
care.
think you should. I think this one is all you.
Why?
This is a
Thank
really
you.
short one, but I think you could probably talk about it a little bit. No, it's not mine, Ossifer. I swear.
Florida authorities said they found cocaine and methamphetamine wrapped around a man's penis during a traffic stop.
I'm sorry.
But the man denied the drugs were
Wrapped
his.
around your wait, what?
Pinellas County Sheriff's deputies said they stopped a vehicle driving without its lights on at 4 a.m. last Saturday. WFLA TV reports the driver... WFLA. WFLA reports the driver was arrested on charges of DUI and marijuana possession. Authorities said they found a gun under the passenger seat while searching the car and discovered the drugs while searching the passenger. The man said the drugs were not his, but didn't say who the drugs belonged to, according to the request report. So, this was wrapped around a man's penis, and he claims it wasn't his.
They found it.
He probably started blabbering, I've got drugs in my penis, but they're not mine. I got drugs in my willy, but they're not mine. I got drugs in my thingy, and they're not mine.
That's what he did? I got drugs in my willy, but they're not mine.
I'll bet you it was exactly like that. He was all wasted. I mean, obviously, wasted and driving with his lights off in the middle of the night. Yeah.
I got drugs in my willy, but they're not mine.
Mm-hmm. There's a song in there somewhere.
Somewhere.
Not a good one, but a song somewhere. Unbelievable.
Darn believable. Yeah.
So, once again, I want to implore you, beseech you, come to our website.
Please.
Visit our archives. Listen to some of the amazing interviews we had, like recently with Dee West, or the last weeks with Naresh Visa, and so many others.
And more coming up with him, I hope.
Yeah, we're working on a second part. We are trying to get some other friends of ours and people.
There's lots of people that need to be heard from.
Yeah.
And if you would like to be a guest on Counterculture Wise, head on over to our website, counterculturewise.com, and fill out the form. There's actually a form there that you can fill out, and it's cool and neato and stuff.
And I forgot to mention something about this play I was in.
Oh.
I don't want to keep focusing on me.
No, it was a really good play. I like it.
But it was a good play. But they cast a deaf actress to play the lead woman's mother. And it was done in a very innovative way. The actress, Susie, could not have been a sweeter human being on earth.
And she was a good actress.
And a good actress. So my friend Kami did her voice. We also had Piper, who's been involved in this production company for a while, is a sign interpreter, and sign language interpreter, and at least a couple of productions, presentations of any production, they do a special version for deaf and hard of hearing people where they have the signing people there. So
interpreters.
So she was interpreting it, and it was amazing, and it flowed so nicely.
Yeah, the way they did it was really impressive.
Yeah.
I sincerely enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
So tell people a little bit about, because it's based on a true story, right?
Yes, this was written in 1928 by a woman named Sophie Treadwell, who was a journalist at the time, a feminist, and was...
a feminist journalist.
Yeah, feminist journalist. And she based this on a true story of a rather sordid murder case, the details of which I don't have a whole lot. But she turned it into a morality play. It was an existentialist.
Which I had never been exposed to before.
Expressionist, not existential.
Not existential, yeah. Expressionist.
But expressionist play. And it's set up... I don't want to blow it for people who want to see the show, but it's a woman who she's not well. She's I'll just say she's mentally ill. Some people might interpret it a different way, but the woman has emotional issues, and she's trying to make her way through the machine world. You know, the office is run like an efficient machine. The people around the courtroom she finds herself in is run like a machine, and all of us actors had to act and react and do it just with a punching rhythm. The idea, according to our director, was to keep the audience going. You know, don't give them a chance to catch their breath. Just drive it through to the very end. And essentially, it's the story of a woman who was in an unhappy marriage that she consented to because, although she struggled with it and didn't even like the guy, he was well off and she wouldn't have to work or worry about money. And her mother was a strong influence in that. She goes to a speakeasy. Remember, this is the 1920s, and booze was illegal. I played one of the bartenders. Not that that matters, but at a bar,
I kept forgetting that was during Prohibition.
Yeah, it was during Prohibition.
There was a lot of booze involved.
Right. So she goes to a speakeasy with a coworker, winds up meeting a gentleman who
This is after she marries.
Yeah, after she marries.
That literally makes her ill, like literally.
Yeah, his very presence makes her gag.
And the sad thing about the whole thing is he's not a bad guy.
No, he's a sweetheart. He's a sweetheart. A bit, at least as my friend played it, a bit self-absorbed.
He's clueless.
Clueless and self-absorbed. And, you know, he thinks he's doing everything right for her. And if she were, in most cases, she'd be grateful for it. But, you know, she winds up murdering him. And the trial is probably the best part of the show. The prosecution lawyer was played by my friend Ryan, who was absolutely,
who absolutely
astounding.
Should play the lead in The Music Man.
Yeah, he has that.
He has
because
that cadence,
that staccato rhythm.
Yeah.
You know, T for Trouble,
and which
all.
really worked for the 1920s because of the way they talked back then.
Yeah,
or at least the way the movies talked back then.
Right. Well, they had to do that because of the recording technology at the time. If they talked like normal human beings, nobody'd be able to hear. It wouldn't record properly. That was one of the reasons they did such chopped language in the movies back then.
I liked it because I could understand them. Nowadays, everybody's whispering and mumbling. I can't understand a dang thing anybody's saying.
Yeah.
I mean, half the time I have to watch movies with the captions on because I can't understand a darn word they're saying.
And the vast majority of the costuming was authentic period stuff, with flapper dresses and
amazing costumes.
The guys had pencil thin mustaches and slicked back hair and all that kind of stuff. The guy who played the man that the lead character Helen actually falls for, he had like shoulder length, beautiful hair, and he cropped it.
He was supposed to be like Spanish?
No, not necessarily.
He kept talking about Spain and Barcelona.
You'd be surprised to know that the guy who played that on Broadway was this actor named Clark Gable.
No.
Yeah, it was one of his earliest New York plays.
Well, that would certainly make sense, falling in love with Clark Gable in the middle of
nowhere.
Well,
yeah. But that's what I'm talking about. Pencil thin mustache. That was the rage. I wound up shaving off most of my facial hair and trimming it down to a really thin mustache. You know what the sickening part is? I'm looking, and we're in the dressing room, and there's mirrors all around, and I'm wearing a baseball cap, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm going, literally going, who is that guy? I didn't recognize myself.
I've gotten so used to you with muttons.
I know, but
hair.
Seriously, I was like,
at least you kept the mustache.
It took me a minute to realize it was actually me. I was looking at myself. It was just so odd. I'd never been that disconnected.
Oh, I feel that
way. And
it was.
And by the way, the word "old" was thrown in there too.
Yeah.
Who's that old guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
So, anywho, great show. Their next production is going to be Cabaret, which is going to be at the
Life is
at the Waco Civic Theater also. And on October 31st, they're going to be performing the Rocky Horror Show live.
Wow, it's been a long time since I've seen that.
Yeah, at the Backyard, which is one of our favorite venues. So we've already decided where we're going for Halloween, which is nice. We usually just stay in the house and tell the kids to bug off. So, yeah, we'll get tickets for that because it'll sell quickly. We had a large crowd, about 100 people today, over 100 people. Really nice, decent turnout. So I'm very happy that I was part of it, even though I got a couple of really small parts. But they were good. I especially like the prison guard that screamed, "It's time."
Okay, so Jim tells me that he has lines in this play, and apparently all of the lines were off stage. So I'm like, sweetie, I saw you. You played 3 different characters, but I didn't hear you say anything, and you said you had lines. Barely all your lines were screamed from off stage.
Well, no, I mean, the one I was originally cast to say was, it was off stage behind a door, and ironically, I used to work for a waste management company, and I was a waste management guy, or the garbage dude. So it was just a lot of fun. I knew I would have a good time playing with these guys. Look forward to working with them again.
They're a great little production company, and they do so much with so little. It's amazing.
Very minimalist staging, which based on the theater, which is in the round.
A theater in the round, which is hard.
Yeah,
and how they did it, I kind of wish my seat was on the other side though, because it seemed like a lot was to my side.
Yeah,
but it was really impressive how they used the area.
Mm-hmm. Well, he can visualize that stuff. That's why I couldn't be a stage director. I just couldn't. It's like, I don't know, walk over there, let's see what happens.
I think I'd be good at it because I'm really bossy.
Well, I'm a good writer. I'm a good actor. I've produced. I've done all that stuff. Directing was never a thing. I mean, I did I say directoring?
You corrected yourself, but it was so cute. I wanted to hear it again.
I've assisted directed. I learned a bit about directing that way, but I would never want to direct. That's the one thing I would not want to do. A lot of actors want to direct, especially in the film biz, but not I.
All right, I have a feeling we're going to go over a little bit just because there are some stories we got to share.
I'm happy to stick around for a little while. I'm not completely loopy yet.
Not yet. He was like down in coffee. All right, well, let's head on into the new normal.
This is not Bubba Waters. It is no longer 2020, but this is your new abnormal.
Off air, but the mics are on just in case. We are back. It looks like the internet went kablooey. So I do apologize for anybody who's been sitting in silence. That was not anything we did here at Counterculture Wise. As you know, we are very professional and never, ever, ever have technical difficulties.
Not once.
I don't know.
Well, not once, not twice, but never mind.
I don't know if that sounder played or not, but I'm going to go ahead and play it because I'm going to assume that since the whole sounder played while the internet was like, bye, that nobody got to hear that. So let's give that another try, shall we?
This is not Bubba Waters. It is no longer 2020, but this is your new abnormal.
Attention citizens, please stay tuned for a message from our tyrannical dictator.
And Mayor Rick Bassin. Rick, when we talked on the phone, you look like you played in defensive tackle for, I don't know who, but it was somebody good. But at any rate, I want to thank you for your leadership and during this unimaginable. Right now, there are over 450 search and rescue experts working round the clock. Second, I've identified FEMA's Administrator Griswold to lean forward we have a little sense, Jill and I, what it's like to lose a home. Years ago, now 15 years ago, I was in Washington doing Meet the Press. It was a sunny Sunday. And lightning struck at home on a little lake that's outside of our home, not a lake, a big pond, and hit a wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct. To make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette, and my cat.
Vagina.
So, okay, let me see if I understand this correctly.
Oh, God, don't get me started.
These kids get burned to death. Houses are completely destroyed.
Businesses
Lives
destroyed,
are
people-
completely...
Ancestral land wiped off. I mean,
And, by the way, I believe...
20-minute kitchen fire
Yeah.
almost threatened his
this is
Corvette.
also I think, very close to the anniversary of the debacle in Afghanistan. This
Yeah, that
guy
was this week as well.
is an ass clown. If you are
No,
voting for him...
Now, Jim, now. Let's not insult ass clowns.
Okay. This guy's not even good enough to qualify as an ass clown. Moving on. If you're voting for this guy because he's not Trump, it's not a good enough reason, okay? This guy, he talks about a tiny kitchen fire that almost destroyed his precious Corvette. No, I don't care.
What do you make out of the kitchen? But here's the thing. When you are at the scene of a disaster, or even if you're in the hospital with somebody who's, facing a sick child or husband, you don't talk about yourself. It's not about you, Joe. It's not about you.
And as much as you want to say about Donald Trump, when Trump visited victims of everything, well, first of all, he's handing out food and water that he himself paid for in a lot of cases.
Granted, it had his logo on it, but who gives a crap? You're getting it.
Yeah. I mean, the point is he's doing things and he's saying this is a tragedy. We're going to do this about it. We're going to do that. He doesn't say, well, there's this one time I got to talk to Reagan because I can't do Trump.
We do have a resident Trump, though.
Yeah. But instead of, he didn't talk about how, a fire on the stove almost burned his $1 billion kitchen. Nobody can relate to that.
Yeah, I could just see him now if the storm in California had actually been a real storm and not some pussy little weather event, you big baby, stop whining. He'd be there like, I remember the time I went to my sock drawer and I couldn't find a match. I mean, yeah, I know your house is flooded and your dog drowned and your wife is still missing, but man, it was tough not having matching socks, man. It's like, shut up, Joe. Just shut up. Actually, I think Chuck had something really good to say about the whole thing.
Yes, he does.
Let's see what Chuck has to say.
And now, CCW News presents Holy Crap! This is actually happening! Not So Civil War Edition, August 27, 2023. I'm Chuck U. Farley. The big news this week is that Donald John Trump is the first president to fully and totally unite the citizens of this fine country, and he did so via his mugshot. While the vapid left cheers at the total destruction of the justice system as we know it, the right sees it as a rallying cry leading to his inevitable re-election. And both sides want the T-shirt. Fulton County District Attorney Fannie T. Willis is known for dusting off the RICO Act to prosecute dozens of rappers and alleged gang members, serving each with a minimum of 40 charges to ensure they're stuck in the system. She used the exact same tactic on Trump, so it seems that orange is indeed the new black. The court clearly needed to get a mugshot because Donald Trump, who owns a 747 with Trump Force One painted on the side, is a flight risk who could blend in just about anywhere and escape justice. I swear, I am not making this up. Willis also arrested all of Trump's lawyers for the crime of practicing law. When asked how it felt being a tyrant who prosecutes his political rivals, Biden smiled creepily and said that Trump's mugshot showed he is a handsome guy. He then said, while a small trickle of drool ran down his face, he wished Trump would use strawberry essence shampoo. On the same day, the Banana Biden Republic's DOJ came after Elon Musk for not illegally hiring illegal immigrants, which they must illegally do per federal law. In hopes of fortifying yet another election, assuming Trump isn't Epstein before the primaries, the Biden regime is already planning the return of COVID lockdowns and mask mandates so they can mass mail ballots just in time again. Several California cities and many colleges never gave in to the pandemic panic pause and still require vaccine passports and masks. Airlines are whispering about again forcing useless masks on everyone because overcharging you to strip down and unpack in return for abysmal customer service and cancel flights isn't humiliating enough. Remember, folks, this is a 0.02% deadly virus that can withstand 4 boosters but can't get through your rhinestone juicy mask. Meanwhile, the White House is urging everyone to get yet another booster shot because Pfizer's profits have plummeted. The plan is to sink ineffective boosters with bogus Trump indictments so you'll always know what number we're on. Biden did indeed make that trip to Maui, mainly to throw salt on their wounds and demonstrate why his headshot is next to the word twat in the dictionary. While he smirked and mumbled his way through yet another condescending, dementia-addled string of nonsense, he compared the government burning their children alive to, and I swear I am not making this up, a small kitchen fire that almost threatened his classic Corvette. As if it weren't about him enough, he went on to retell the story of losing his daughter and first wife after she ran a stop sign, mentioned that black hole that he always does when he lies about his son Beau, and then went on to crack jokes as he walked around the charred grounds. He topped off the visit by falling asleep during the memorial service. Ron DeSantis fired his entire campaign staff and apparently hired Hillary Clinton's. Conservatives in general have been upgraded from a basket of deplorables to listless vessels. Great way to pander to your party there, Ronnie. In unrelated news, Vivek Ramaswamy has gone from the number 2 spot to the number 1 spot after he wiped the floor with all the other non-Trump candidates in the debate. Trump himself sat the whole circus out by hanging with Tucker Carlson on Twitter, Twitter, where they got more views than the debates in all other networks combined. While race and gender wars, out-of-control inflation, and the very real threat of nuclear war have driven many Americans to drink, Biden's alcohol czar, no, I swear that's a real thing, feels that we should limit ourselves to only 2 beers a week. These recommendations are based on what they're doing in Canada because Canada is always smiled upon as a free and innovative country. These are, of course, merely guidelines. For now. Meanwhile, in Russia, where Putin was absolutely not holding and torturing Yevgeny Prigozhin after his attempted coup, the Wagner Group leader, remember these are mercenaries recruited out of Russian gulags, reportedly died in a totally unexpected plane crash. The Kremlin denies any role in the plane's sudden mid-air explosion, which just happened to be caught on film. Sure. For CCW News, this has been Holy Crap. This is actually happening. I'm Chuck U. Farley. Good night, and may God help us.
Chuck really fits in this particular segment.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe this is our new normal, and this is actually happening.
We've reached an all-time low.
So, folks, if you're tuning in for the first time, we debut the live version of this on Sundays, and then I spend the whole week trying to create the video. If you are one of our subs on Holy Crap, this is actually happening on YouTube. Thank you very much. I do apologize for how long it takes for me to get those out, but remember, we're cramming that in between a couple of full-time jobs, so we do our best. But we do go live every Sunday with a brand new Chuck, so please be sure to tune in. And while you're at it, if you're just joining us, drop everything. Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe, do all the things. Leave us a 200 billion star review, and if you really, really hate our guts, just leave us 5 stars. We'll get the message. Also, go to counterculturewise.com where we have merchandise and lots of ways that you can help us out with our show. Someday we might even have a studio that isn't 100 bajillion degrees. Meanwhile, our puppies are behaving so well. Usually they're such a pain in the booty.
You know that's just like uttering a curse.
No, shh, they're asleep. Go to sleep.
I mean, technically it's 10 o'clock, the show's over, but, you know.
Yeah, they're really being good doggies. I think that's because we let them run around in the back 40 until they got tired.
Yeah, I got involved doing other stuff and
Our
let them run around a
studio
little bit more.
is crawling with pets. Everywhere you look, there's a critter. So we got orange cats, black dogs, gray cats. They're all over the dang place. But we are nothing if not professional here at Counterculture Wise.
It's true that.
All right, this next story, I cannot guarantee there won't be a Ginger Snaps or just like a mini Ginger Snaps. All I have to say is, let's just say a certain cartoonist who draws a cartoon that rhymes with Bill Burt.
And I had mentioned his name earlier in the show.
You shared his hairdo. Has mentioned on more than one occasion that we are in a pandemic of incompetence. And this, my friends, is yet another example. An Oklahoma mother shared her literal worst nightmare when her five-year-old son's school bus driver dropped him off at the wrong stop in 105-degree heat. Really? It gets that hot in Oklahoma? Where the wind comes whipping down the plain?
I think it is.
Wow, I had no idea it got that hot there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's right next to us. It's right next
Kelly
to Texas.
Mahallahan, the mother of the 5-year-old, posted doorbell footage on TikTok that showed her son walking up to a random house, ringing their doorbell and pleading for help. Actually, this little guy, he may be 5. He's smart. He did exactly the right thing. Good job, kiddo. Will you help me find my mommy? The boy who is in kindergarten asked the ring footage. It was the boy's first time on a school bus, his mother said. I think 5 years old is just too damn young to send your kids away. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do. I think preschool and even kindergarten, it's too young.
I was fortunate that I lived in a rather self-contained neighborhood that it was adjoined to the school, so I had like a 5-block walk or something like that.
Even still, I mean, putting a 5-year-old on a school bus, why?
Yeah.
Why? Anyways, fortunately, this kid's bright. It was the boy's first time on a school bus. Okay. The clip, which has over 4 million views, then proceeds with Molinard detailing the exact moment she realizes her son, as well as another 5-year-old with him, who turns out is his stepsister, were dropped off at the wrong stop. So we have teeny tiny children, 5-year-old children, barely out of diapers. And this moron of a bus driver couldn't even be bothered to drop them off at the correct stop. You have one job, Mr. Bus Driver. One job. The wheels go round and round. Pay attention to your damn kids. Almost half an hour after they're supposed to be dropped off, I finally see the bus, so I get out of my car to walk to the corner of the street to meet it. Lady, you might want to go start picking your kids up at school. The bus driver opened the door, and the first things out of his mouth were, are you supposed to have kids on this bus? Mom says full, period, panic, period, mode, period. Yeah, that's exactly what would have happened after I beat the living crap out of that bus driver and rescued all the children that were still on the bus. When Mahallahan asked the bus driver where exactly her son and the other 5-year-old child is, the bus driver couldn't give an answer.
That is so...
I don't know.
No, that should be a soon-to-be former bus driver. That's insane. That's not, honestly,
No, it
this
gets
isn't
better.
like...
It gets better.
I'm sure it does.
As Mulholland stood there and wondered where her little boy could be, and the 5-year-old is her boyfriend's daughter, so kind of like his stepsister. She said in the video, an older child, another child on the bus interjected and told her they remember seeing them get off at the last stop. So the moron, idiot, probably hopped up on God knows what kind of drugs bus driver who shouldn't have a job had no idea where he dropped off these itty-bitty baby children. But another one of the kids was able to... Like I said, might be a ginger snaps. And there's videos of this, and it's heartbreaking. This poor little boy is just crying his little eyes out. Mulholland said the other child couldn't give an exact street name. Of course not, he's a kid. But kept saying, down the corner, down there, while pointing to the area. So the bus driver couldn't be bothered to say, oh, I stopped here, here, and here. You have one job, Mr. Bus Driver. One job.
And it ain't that difficult.
So Mom, who's like at this point panicking, who can, blame her, hops back in her car, hurries down the street where the older kid on the bus directed her to and alerted her boyfriend, who's the father of the other one, to check the children's school, just in case the kids, didn't make it on the bus, because I hope these children never get on this bus again. She circled the area but couldn't find the kids. So I go back to my car to get my phone to call my boyfriend, and a car pulls up alongside of me and asks if I'm looking for 2 kids. He, the neighbor who pulled up, told me what streets, and I race over there to find out that they're no longer there. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. I would be, after I killed the bus driver, I'd be freaking out. Then in a miracle scenario and with the help of other nearby neighbors, Mulholland says we finally find them at a house over half a mile from where we live, as well as half a mile from where they were dropped off. So these kids walked half a mile in 105-degree heat, lost. They're 5 years old. They're terrified. What a dick. You know what? I don't even care if the bus driver's a female. What a dick. The kids had been outside wandering the area for over an hour in 105-degree weather. This is inexcusable. I am so glad they are safe, one person said in response to the viral video. One person? Another person said, the crying, would you help me find my mommy, absolutely sent me into tears. The fear in his little voice. Another person said, I am a school bus driver. We are not allowed to let a kindergartner or first grade child off without a parent at the stop.
Yeah, what was that about?
This driver not only needs to lose their job, they need to be prosecuted for child abuse, and they need to lose their license. Period.
For real.
I mean, and not even knowing, oh yeah, I'm just dropping off teeny tiny little babies, 2 of them, in the middle of no damn where with no parent to meet them, and I can't even remember where that was long enough to tell the frantic mother. My bus driver, when I was growing up, not only knew my name, she knew my mom's name, she knew my address, she knew my best friend's address, so if I wanted to get dropped off at my best friend's house, she would actually say, oh, did Evie say that was okay? And I'm like, oh, yeah, we're 3 blocks away from each other. Well, we lived out in the middle of nowhere, but blocks, houses,
right,
whatever.
Right.
Houses are blocks when you live out in the sticks. But she knew. And if my mom had frantically met her at the bus, she would have said, oh, yeah, I dropped her at Beanie's house.
Right.
What the hell kind of bus driver is dropping off a baby, 2 of them, in the middle of no damn where and doesn't even know where it was? Couldn't give the mother another child? Had to tell the mother? You're telling me that another grade school child was paying better attention than the damn professional with the license whose single job is to take care of those children and get them from point A to point B. You're telling me that a grade schooler could do their job better?
I say give the grade schooler the license and teach him how to drive the bus.
I agree.
That's all I gotta
All right.
say.
Mini Ginger Snap, sorry for yelling into the mic. Next.
Okay.
How do you get gangbangers to stop firing on each other? Just ask them nicely to do it, but only during certain hours. You're going to like this one.
A Northside community group.
I almost put this into Chuck's segment. Honest to God, I swear this is actually happening.
A Northside community group is calling for people to refrain from shooting guns in Chicago between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. to reduce the risk to people not involved in high-risk activities. The proposal from Rogers Park-based Native Sons, known as the People's Ordinance, you know, as soon as they add something like the People's, that it's out of touch.
Commandant.
Was recently promoted in an email newsletter by Alderwoman Maria Haddon, 49th, whatever that is, 49th District, I don't know. Shootings are up significantly this year in Rogers Park. Chicago police believe a reignited gang war between local gangster Disciples and Black Pea Stones in Uptown is to blame. Wow, you think it would be gang-related?
No.
Is it because...
Just like Biden keeps tweeting, and so does David Hogg. Oh, the number one killer of children is guns. Children over 15 in gang-related shootouts.
Yeah.
But those aren't children. Those are gang members.
Right.
The number one killer of children is accidents.
Right.
The second... you know what? Guns don't even make the top 10.
Stop talking reason. I'm reading an article. Shootings are up significantly this year. Okay, I already said that. We have to start somewhere.
Well, somebody think of the children.
Tatiana Atkins, co-founder of Native Sons, said, "Our goal is to approach our city's gun violence problem strategically and not all at once. Things didn't become this way overnight, and change won't happen overnight." And then, of course, there is an ad that says, "United for a Safe Summer." It almost looks like graffiti-style writing. Yeah, never mind. Under this ordinance, we ask that people stop associating with and glorifying shooters, stop glorifying switches, and stop wearing those ski masks everywhere, which perpetuates you as some op, Atkins told CWB Chicago recently. When those who live a certain lifestyle try to hang with regular class citizens, they put everyone at risk.
It sounds like Max is reading this now.
Switches are an aftermarket... Never mind. Switches are an aftermarket device that turn some semi-automatic handguns into automatic firing weapons, similar to machine guns.
By the way, that's not a thing.
If
that's
people know that...
not a thing.
Half of what they're saying is not a thing.
Yeah,
like
it's
like
not a
it
thing.
didn't happen overnight. No, it didn't, but it can be solved overnight.
Yeah.
Or over a few days.
Like the Ukraine war, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, let's send the money to Ukraine. That's smart. At the end of the day, 5-year-olds are being killed by gun violence. No, they're being killed by people. They're being killed by evil people. 14-year-olds are being killed by gun violence. Well, what about the ones between 5 and 14? Anyway, 78-year-olds are being...
That's a scene from The Simpsons where it was talking about... what's that song? Is it White Christmas? No. It's the one that's a waltz. It's that time of year. Da, 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 da. So, no, it's the other one. It is crap. I can't remember. But there's a line in it that says, "And so I give you this wish from anyone from 1 to 92. Merry Christmas."
Chestnuts roasting on
Is
an
that the
open
one?
fire.
Okay, Nat King Cole. Okay, yeah, it's all coming back. It's all coming back to me now.
Good thing.
From 1 to 92, and it shows Maggie, the baby,
Uh-huh.
and it shows Abe, the grandfather,
Uh-huh.
and they're like, "We know where we're not wanted," and they leave the scene. So that's what happens to those kids between those age groups.
Anyway, 78-year-olds are being killed by gun violence. Pregnant women are being killed by gun violence. Young boys with bright futures are being killed by gun violence. Fathers are being killed by gun violence, and this shouldn't be happening. You think so, Ms. Atkins?
Think?
Really? Is that...
I have a crazy idea.
What's that?
Why don't we prosecute Criminals! They're going to take me away.
Yes, they are. Because how dare you say that, insinuate that this is some kind of crime for which there should be some punishment, because instead of saying, well, let's just read the rest of this. While Native Sons calls the movement an ordinance, no legislation has been drafted to formalize enhanced penalties for people who choose to shoot guns between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. We are not waiting for a bill or law to enforce what we feel needs to be done. This is a movement being carried along by social media and the media. Oh, Jesus. Sorry for my language.
We're praying.
What good is that going to do? What good is posting a bunch of crap on Facebook and on, Chicago CBS affiliate going to do?
Make sure you fly your Ukraine flag on your Twitters. Sorry, X.
She said Alderperson, whatever, Haddon is supporting the group's efforts. Haddon's office did not respond to an email from CWB Chicago about the Alder's commitment. Ideally, people would never shoot guns in Chicago, but that's not a realistic possibility, Atkins acknowledged. Not everyone is willing to drop their beef, she said. I have a beef with you. If you are mentally and emotionally equipped to solve disputes in a healthy manner, if you can't help but harm each other, do so in a capacity in which children, elderly, and those not involved in high-risk activities are less likely to be affected. I'm going to just say this. You're giving up.
Yeah.
You're not helping a goddamned thing. You are giving up. Don't shoot between 9 and 9. Go ahead and kill the hell out of each other the rest of the day?
But they're asking,
are you nuts?
They're asking nicely.
And I'm telling you nicely, you're a moron.
Did you see the murals, though? The paintings outside of the kids' play areas?
I know, so gangy. Anyway.
Say, please don't shoot us nicely.
Please don't shoot. I want to grow up.
Honest to God, we're not
and
joking.
the kids have their names painted underneath it. Probably the teachers pointed them at doing that, which is stupid because now the kids have been identified.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Hi, are you Shaniqua? Boom! Don't tell me what to do. Speaking of thugs that don't get prosecuted.
What's Hunter up to now?
Read the rap sheet of this fine gentleman.
Oh, boy.
Charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm and reckless discharge of a firearm, stemming from a July 2018 incident that prompted a SWAT standoff. January 2019, felony manufacture delivery of cannabis. Yeah, I don't care about that one. Released him on his own recognizance in that case for an additional $250 whole. Okay, don't really care about that one. Still got the SWAT standoff and guns and yeah. 7 months later, while both of those cases are still pending, same fine gentleman again arrested and charged with being a felon in possession of another gun not supposed to have. You know those red flag laws they want to pass and all those things?
Yeah.
Why are we not enforcing the ones that are already there? Just curious.
Oh, come on. Now you're just spouting a bunch of NRA-backed right-wing nonsense. Yeah, come on.
Why do we need more? Okay. He only
we
had
need
to post
bigger and gooder
$500
laws.
in bail on that one. December 2015, 5 counts of attempted murder, unlawful use of a weapon by already a felon, possessing a defaced firearm, which basically means he shaved
sawed
off
yeah. Or shaved off the serial, right.
A grand jury later returned a total of 17 felony counts against him, including those 5 counts of attempted murder. All of that dropped.
Is this in Chicago?
Slate is wiped clean.
Where is
this?
Let's
find out what happened to this lovely gentleman.
Oh, my.
Why, my goodness, it was in Chicago.
You don't say.
However, did you guess?
Miss Atkins.
Apparently.
This guy. What are we going to do with this guy?
Apparently, he was speeding down Cicero Avenue near Midway Airport, plowed into somebody and killed a 12-year-old little girl. Now, please understand, he's very remorseful. Let me read his testimony. I want to apologize to Siri because she was a little 12-year-old and I have a daughter and I can just imagine how that lady feels right now. And I know she's mad and I'm very sorry, but I didn't do that. That wasn't me. I just want to apologize.
Well, it's slightly better than...
Wait, it gets better. I was running away. I was running away because I was being shot at. He told the judge. This has been ongoing. This isn't fair. This isn't fair at all. But all witness accounts and a Lyft driver's dash cam video offered no evidence that anyone was chasing or shooting at this fine gentleman before the collision. Oh, by the way, he was rich enough to have not only implanted teeth, but fashioned into fangs. So,
Thug life.
Headline is Fanged Man Gets 10 Years for Killing 12-year-old in Traffic Crash while on bail for three felony cases.
Please keep him there.
Why was that
And
man
by the way, if
out in public?
I don't mean to sound unchristian. I pray for his soul. But I got to tell you, if...
We're just assuming he has one.
Yeah, it's just an assumption he has one at this point. But I will say this. His apology was far better than anything Joe said on the island of Maui.
I done killed her daughter, but that wasn't me, but she mad. Screw you. And
if he had the good judgment not to try to kill a bunch of people, he'd probably have the sense to say, I'm sorry.
Five murder cases, and this guy's out there driving a car, plowing into children.
Because they don't give a rat's ass. It's corrupt to its very core. They need a law and order guy running the place.
Yeah,
they
took Chicago policies and put it into the presidency, and we've been under that ever since. And for the 5 minutes of reprieve we had from that, they absolutely persecuted the poor guy into the ground, and they're still trying to get him tossed off because he's like, hey, maybe we shouldn't run the country like Chicago. And then we just put...
No, I think it's time for tanks in the streets. And, I mean, I hate to be that way. But, I mean, that's the only way it's ever going to get... I mean... And I know not all of Chicago is like that. At least I think not all of Chicago is like that.
Pretty much all like that. Like our chat says, well, you know, you walk around in gun-free zones with a "Please don't shoot me" shirt. You know, it makes me think of that Gary Larson comic with the deer with the target.
Yeah.
It's like bummer of a
birthmark.
Hal. Hal or
no, it's Hal.
Is it Hal?
Yeah. That's how much I love that one.
I love that one. But that's basically Chicago. And here's the thing. They may have canceled Scott Adams for this, but he's right. Get out. Get away. If you don't want to become one of these people or you don't want to become prey to one of these people, get the hell out.
Same goes for Seattle, which is a city I used to love, and now
Well, like Chuck said, Seattle is now the #1 city that people want to leave.
Yeah.
You can't fix this. Okay, so I have an idea.
Can we please, for the love of God?
Okay. Let's end the show on a high note. Here on Counterculture Wise, we may rant, we may rave, but most of all, we go against the current culture because we believe, to the core of our beings, that humans are good and the world is an amazing and beautiful place. At the beginning of our show, we give you news of the weird and wonderful, but that is just the tip of the magnificent iceberg that is our world. We now present news of the wonderfuller. Every week I say, hey Jen, we just need a couple of news of the weird and wonderful and one last story to end on a high note. And Jim says, make Melanie cry. On it! So let's see how he did this week.
I didn't set out to make you cry this week.
Okay, we'll see. It's a golden.
I honestly didn't think about the breed of the mutt.
Yeah. Of course you
question
didn't.
here.
A family in Virginia is calling their foster dog, a hero for saving them from a fire that destroyed their houseboat. I would love to live on a houseboat. The Portsmouth Humane Society allows people to check out an adoptable dog and take the dog to local events as part of their Paws Around Portsmouth program.
Portsmouth, please. It's Portsmouth.
But it's spelled mouth. If it wanted to be Portsmouth, it'd be Portsmuth, Portsmouth. But it's Mouth, which is mouth. If they don't want me to say Portsmouth, they need to correct their spelling.
I stand corrected, or I sit corrected. I correct that. I'm sitting and I'm corrected. Move on.
All right. About 2 weeks ago, Chris Kashana and Sheila James checked out it's a Great Pyrenees, which is practically a golden, named Moose. The family of 5 took Moose to the market, advertising that the pup needed a home. Krishna said they met a potential owner, but she couldn't adopt Moose that day. So the family brought Moose to their houseboat in the Tidewater Yacht Marina and then went to sleep. Oh, he's so pretty. If I don't get another golden, I'm going to get a great... Oh, wait, I'm stuck with these two. Never mind, I got black labs. Anybody want a black lab? As the family slept, the boat next to theirs caught fire. Moose woke the family up and alerted them to smoke pouring in from the neighboring boat. Those were critical minutes, James told Newsweek. It happened so quickly, and at that point, every second counts. The family was able to get out safely, but their home was destroyed and they lost everything. So Biden came in and said, "Oh man, I feel your pain, man. I lost my wallet the other day. It was awful."
Did you say you lost your molar?
Wallet.
Oh, okay. God, I feel a script coming on. But continue.
Yeah. Moose. What? After he saved their freaking life, they took him back to the shelter, you jerks? No! The dog saved your freaking life. You keep the dang dog. Okay. About a week later, he was rescued by a Portsmouth family who was following his story
Nice
on
compromise.
the local news. We saw that he had been returned, and I was talking to my husband, Sierra Lewis said. I told him Moose got returned, and he was like, "Well, go get him." That's exactly what you would have said.
Yeah.
So Lucas brought him home, which had quite a few animals already, including dogs, cats, goats, chickens, and even a tortoise. He's here to stay. Sir, okay, this reminds me of a joke.
Pete and repeat?
This guy's... No, almost as bad, though. So this guy's car breaks down, and he walks a few miles, and he sees his farmhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And he walks up to the farmhouse, and he's like, "Hey, man, my car broke down. Can I use your phone?" The guy's like, "Great, no problem. Yeah, you can come on in." As he's walking toward the door, he sees this 3-legged pig running around. He's like, "Oh, that's interesting." Farmer says, "That there pig is the best dang pig I've ever had." He's like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, that there pig has saved my life 3 times." "Really?" Yeah. Tell you what, our house caught on fire, and that there pig busted out of his stall and came and squealed at the door until we all got out. Saved me and my entire family. The guy's like, "Wow, that's really impressive." He's like, "I'll tell you what. One time the tractor had a flat tire, and it actually landed on me when I was trying to fix it. That there pig went and told the wife, told her where I was, and she was able to come out and rescue me because that there pig." And the guy says, "Wow, that's amazing. I mean, he did all that with 3 legs? I'll tell you what, that there pig, my son fell down in a well, and that there pig, just like Lassie, came up and told me where my son was, and I was able to rescue my son from that there well." And the guy's like, "Oh my God, this pig is amazing. He did all that with 3 legs? The guy says, "Well, no. I mean, the pig wasn't born with 3 legs. And he said, "Oh no, what happened? Did he lose a leg while he was trying to rescue somebody?" He goes, "Well, now, I mean, pigs saved our lives 3 times. I couldn't eat them all at once." Okay, I guess I should have had that right.
Yeah. It's not as funny 10 seconds later.
But that's how we feel. It's like dog rescues entire family, and they're like... sent him back to the shelter.
Thank you. Goodbye now.
What the late... And, okay, I don't know why.
Well, at least you're not crying. You're just angry.
But
See?
in this picture, he's shaved from the chest down. So I think the dog actually got hurt. I think he got hurt saving this entire family and the mother sucking ton of bricks.
Huh?
Took him back to the shelter? What the living...
That's taking fostering.
Not swearing.
Yeah, the
when it goes
it's
silent.
taking the fostering thing almost
that
too seriously.
Long time of silence when I said we were disconnected from the internet. No, that was just me stepping on a Lego and swearing. No, I'm just joking. That we were actually disconnected from
You got to understand, Melanie and I are horrible fosters. I mean, basically Max was a foster and he
Allie's
just decided
a foster,
we're
literally the world's worst fosters.
Yeah.
We're still actively trying to find Allie a home, and we're really sucking at this. I just bought her a new collar. We're going to go tomorrow to get the flea treatment, and we suck at this. But at least they behaved tonight.
They did. They were perfect
All right,
angels.
Well, you got an extra bona fide 38 minutes of Counterculture-wise
Of
this evening.
thrills, chills, and adventure.
Rants and all kinds of fun things. Thank you so very much for tuning in. We love you guys. And remember, if you're listening after the fact, hit like, hit share, hit subscribe. Tell people about us. Join us anytime live. But if you're out there after the fact, let us know that you're there. In fact, if you love us, make sure you give us a 647 billion star review. If you hate us, just give us a 5-star review. We'll get the message. And if you really hate us and want to tell us why, head on over to counterculturewise.com and fill out the ID10T report, and we will give it the attention
it deserves.
Folks, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and thanks everybody in chat, especially Nick and Dave. We love you very much. Nick, can't wait to see you back here in the studio very, very soon. I hope everything's going okay over there. It was fun having you on last week, and we will see you next week. Love ya.
Counterculture-wise is a Stormcat production.
Thank you for joining our growing family of listeners. All links from the show are available on our website, counterculturewise.com. Find our archives on any of your favorite podcast hosts.
We engage in satire, commentary, and generally laugh at the ridiculousness of our crumbling society. Our only medical or financial advice is to not follow any financial or medical advice given by podcasters.
Our animations, interviews, Holy Crap segment, and other videos are put out on BitChute and Rumble, and only in part on YouTube because they hate free speech.
Our show is entirely funded by listeners like you. Visit our ever-expanding merch store or our Subscribe Star, where you can get outtakes, extra videos, and sneak peeks.
If you would like to be a guest on our program, feel free to contact us via our website. Just click on the link at the top that says, Be a Guest on Our Show.
For more fun and cat pics, please visit our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. For complaints about our show, please fill out the ID10T form on our website, and we will give it the attention it deserves.
Meanwhile, no matter how cruel the world may be around you, always remember the importance of kindness. Be kind to each other, be kind to animals, and be kind to yourself. See you next week.